Welcome, everybody, to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today. And this week's He's the Good Doctor back to battle the forces of evil in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, hitting store shelves, along with the romantic adventure comedy The Lost City. The DC animated love is back with Green Lantern, Beware My Power. And on top of all that, you have Scream Factory releasing a 4K edition of the sci-fi horror thriller Species. And Kino Lorber releasing a 4K of the surreal drama Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Plus much more. So let's go see the deals, exclusives, and we are at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got. All right, everybody, we are in at Walmart, and yet again, new release love. I'm sure they didn't want to. I'm sure they were forced into it, but regardless, damn glad they did. Damn glad indeed, baby. At least we got new release love regardless, whether they forced them or whether they did it willingly. Who gives a shit? We still got it, man. So let's enjoy it while it lasts, huh? Let's enjoy it indeed. Because let's dive into a little bit of Doctor Strange love. Yes, the MCU is back on physical media, baby. The DVD of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness for $19.96, the Blu-ray digital for $24.96, the 4K love for $29.96, and yes, and only at Walmart exclusive. Nice, with a limited edition Marvel Studios enamel pin. Ooh, that looks pretty goddamn sweet to me, baby. Oh, indeed it does. Oh, look at that, man. And actually, I gotta really love it because the artwork is really trippy, and I love this artwork so much. This is really cool artwork, man. I can't say I'm always impressed by only a Walmart exclusive, but that is really cool. But what's even cooler is you get different artwork on the 4K. You get the same artwork on the Blu-ray and digital, but still unique artwork mostly across the board. And I love that stuff. I've told you guys this so many times, but as a physical media lover, there's something about getting different artwork for different releases that just kind of makes it even more special. It's just a really great thing for collectors overall, man. For certain types of media, certain formats, you want something a little bit unique to your collection, and artwork is one of the ways to do it. I love that so much, man. That is so cool. I wish more studios would do this, honestly. I really wish they would. The only thing I will say against Disney here is that they should have made that case red, man. They should have done it, man. That is a major missed opportunity. I mean, if you think about like Scarlet Witch here and the red that's all over this film, to not have the case be red here, man, that is a major missed opportunity. The only thing I'll say against them, but other than that, dude, the artwork is pretty goddamn cool here, so I will give them credit for that, man. Can't give them credit for everything. They don't always get it right, but for the most part, they did a pretty damn good job. Not bad, baby. And oh, let's talk about little Doctor Strange, yeah. Oh, man. Now, I got a chance to watch this in the movie theater with John, Bob, Van, all of the crew, all the boys. We went to go see Doctor Strange because, man, I gotta tell ya, Doctor Strange has become one of my favorite characters within the MCU. I love the way Benedict Cumberbatch plays this character, and I love how they've utilized the character over the years, whether it's in his own films or whether he's just playing a bit part in someone else's movie and comes in for a little bit. I love that, man, and I think they do a really great job with him and always make him interesting and unique and always make him a very pivotal part of the story, even if it's only for a short amount of time. I think Benedict Cumberbatch has really made this such a unique character, and I love how Kevin Feige and the MCU has really given this character a certain level of importance that he absolutely deserves, no doubt about that, man. And I really loved that first Doctor Strange movie. In fact, When that first Doctor Strange movie came out, everybody was kind of shitting on it. It's not as good as some of the other MCU films. And I literally was like, are you kidding me? This movie is fantastic, man. I love the trippiness to it and the characters and the overall vibe that this is giving off and how it really affects the MCU. And eventually, most people came around to my way of thinking, and they're like, you know what, actually, it's really good. I'm like, yeah, no shit. Okay? I'm glad people finally came around to my way of thinking because it's about goddamn time, but a lot of people eventually really embraced Benedict Cumberbatch as his character, really embraced Doctor Strange, and now he's just really become a staple of the MCU. Everybody really loves seeing him in whatever movie he ends up popping up in, and I just love it, and I just was absolutely waiting for the next Doctor Strange movie. And when the trailer came out for this, I was like, oh my god, he's dealing with the multiverse, multiple versions, multiple realities. Oh shit. I was like, oh man, this is going to be epic. And honestly, no lie, it was pretty goddamn sweet, man. I know a lot of people had really high expectations for this movie, and I think a lot of people left the theater a tad bit disappointed. I think they felt like it could have been a little bit more, maybe a little more high stakes. They wanted a lot out of this sequel, to be fair, and in some ways, maybe it didn't deliver all of the expectations, but damn, did I really dig this movie, man. I love Benedict Cumberbatch here. I love Doctor Strange dealing with the many versions of the multiverse, the many versions of Doctor Strange himself, and the stories behind how Doctor Strange's are the way they are, and the multiple versions and what the differences are. I thought that was all really fascinating. I love Scarlet Witch in this movie, man. Elizabeth Olsen kills it in this film. She is absolutely amazing and awesome, and I really love her storyline here. A lot of people would see her as just the bad guy, but I think she's much more than that. Somebody who wants something so badly that she will go to any lengths to get it, no matter who she hurts. Does that mean that she's the ultimate bad guy? No, I think her mind is clouded by the grief and the loss and wanting to somehow get that back and going to any lengths to do it, even hurting people for it. It's really phenomenal. I love her in this role. Of course, I always love Wong, man. Wong is fucking killer. I love that. I love the character of America. I think they did a really great job with her as well, really introducing her to the overall MCU storyline. I love just the craziness and the ridiculousness of this movie, man. And to me, it just is a really great bonkers movie of just crazy, insane ideas all coming together to make one over-the-top, ridiculous, bizarre movie that somehow, weirdly enough, fits into the MCU, man. But that's what I love about Doctor Strange, man. You can do some really bizarre, trippy, out-there stuff, and because it's the world of the Sorcerer Supreme, you kind of go with it. If you were to put it in anybody else's movie, you'd kind of be like, wait a minute, that's bullshit. But you do it in a Doctor Strange movie, and somehow it works for some odd reason, man. And I think it's the way they approach the characters. I think it's the way they approach the story that really works. I really love it. I love the different multiple versions of different characters, the whole what-if scenario of certain realms having different style heroes and the surprises that you get out of it. I thought it was really entertaining. I thought it was thrilling, adventurous, action-packed. I had a ball with this movie, man. I loved every single second of it. It might not be everybody else's cup of tea, but it happens to be mine, dude. I just love the bizarre world of Doctor Strange and the Sorcerer Realm, and the fact that they gave me more of it and just more weirdness and bizarreness and a lot more trippiness. Dude, I just love the different styles of the multiverses. Like when they're like really rushing through all these multiverses all at once. Even seeing things like a animation version, sort of like an artsy painting version. I mean, stuff where like his face is literally turning to clay. I mean, what the fuck, dude? It's just weird shit, man. But there's something about it that I really loved, man. And I just love the madcap craziness of this movie, man. And like I said, you know, with different MCU movies, you get different styles. And with Doctor Strange, it's a character in a realm that I really love, man. And these are movies that I absolutely adore, dude. I mean, I watch a movie like this and I can't wait for the next Doctor Strange adventure, man. I'm already jonesing, dude. I mean, seriously, I am. Oh, man, whatever they do next, I will definitely be in the movie theater. And this is proof positive that you can do some crazy shit with Doctor Strange. And it's ever so fucking glorious, man. Praise the MCU. Praise Doctor Strange. Because, man, I definitely want more Multiverse of Madness in my ever-loving life. Are you ready for adventure, hilarity, and big muscles? Well, you might get the muscles, but that's about it. In the Lost City. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness gracious. The 4K for $27.96, the Blu-ray digital for $22.96, and the good old DVD for $17.96. Yes, all the same cover, so it's not like it's anything different or new. So, yeah, no matter what you get, you're just getting the same old thing: disheveled Sandra Bullock and muscly Channing Tatum. So, you know, have at it. Oh man, oh God, look at that actually. What is up with Sandra Bullock's eyes? Do you guys see this, or is it just me, man? I don't know, something weird with her eyes going on, dude. Damn, man, they didn't do her any justice on this cover. Shit. Oh, man. However, dude, man, Channing Tatum be ripped as a motherfucker in this, dude. Well, they're definitely doing him well on this goddamn thing, aren't they? Sandra Bullock, not so much, but we'll make Channing Tatum even extra muscly. You know, for all the ladies. Oh, apparently so, man. Ah, shit. So, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and I don't know if I exactly wanted to watch this thing, but it was a major release coming out this week, so I said, what the fuck, I'll just do it for you guys, man. And basically, it is about Sandra Bullock's character, and she is a writer. She's a romance novelist. It's not like she really wants to be a romance novelist, but it pays the bills and everything. And she's had a very popular series for a long time. And what ends up happening is that she sort of lost her mojo, I guess, so to speak. And it's hard for her to really get it back. And her publisher is really getting on her ass. And she writes this romance novel that's not really all that good. Critics are really shitting on it. The fans really love it, but she's not really feeling it anymore. And the cover model for her books, Channing Tatum, is kind of secretly in love with her at the same time, but he's kind of, weirdly enough, a wimp and doesn't really ever really want to go there. I mean, then again, Sandra Bullock is kind of a smart woman in here, and he kind of comes off as a dumbass, so I guess I can't quite blame him. He doesn't really have that great of a personality, more like the personality of a peanut, but, you know, some ladies go for that shit. God help them. But what ends up happening is that she ends up getting kidnapped, yes, by Mr. Daniel Radcliffe himself, Harry motherfucking Potter, who is looking for this actual lost treasure, city of gold or whatever, and believes that she has the key to help him out. And so he kidnaps her. Channing Tatum then is trying to get her back, and all the crazy fucking hilarity that comes from there, man. Or, well, I suppose there was supposed to be hilarity in this thing. I mean, you know what, dude? I'm gonna be honest with you. There is a part of me that did kind of like the movie a little bit. I mean, Sandra Bullock was really good in the movie. I really liked her. There is moments where it is kind of charming, and there is some funny moments. Don't get me wrong. It's not completely flat, lifeless. But those jokes are few and far between, man. And for the most part, man, this thing, it ain't so hot, dude. I'm just being honest, man. I really am. I mean, the chemistry between Channing Tatum and Sandra Bullock is not there. It's like non-existent. They are really forcing that shit in a big bad way, man. They just don't got any chemistry on the screen. You can see it a mile away. They just don't got nothing, not a know-how. And in fact, weirdly enough, Channing Tatum was originally supposed to be Ryan Reynolds in this movie. And I guess they couldn't come to a deal with Ryan Reynolds, so Channing Tatum came in last minute. And honestly, you can really tell, man. You honestly can, dude. he is not really equipped to play this role. I mean, don't get me wrong, he's equipped to play an idiot, which is basically what this character is anyway. He's sort of an idiot savant, I suppose. More on the idiot side, but, well, he has his qualities. But, I mean, some of the adventure aspect is really cool, I guess, at moments. But it's supposed to be this sort of quirky comedy romance, but the romance doesn't really work because there's no chemistry. And the jokes are either really cringeworthy or really flat, where it's almost like they're trying to do like accidental humor or really dry humor and sort of come off as sort of like almost like quirky conversation turned into humor type of deal. And honestly, there's not many shows or movies that actually pull that off. Like The Office does, but dude, that's The Office, man. I mean, honestly, this movie ain't even close to The fucking Office, man. Not even fucking even holds a candle to the goddamn thing. I mean, look, I appreciate Sandra Bullock doing comedy. I like Sandra Bullock when she does comedy, and she has charm for days, okay? She is the thing that saves this movie, if at all. She's the only thing that does. I mean, I will say this much. I do like Daniel Radcliffe in this movie. He looks like he's having a ball just playing this smarmy, evil, son of a bitch bad guy. This sort of rich boy, entitled prick. Which I think he's just having a lot of fun with. So I give him credit on that. I give him credit just having fun with the role. And Sandra Bullock as well. Channing Tatum is like, you know, blockhead in this goddamn thing, dude. He's fucking useless, man. He has his moments, but only because, like, he's got to be the hunky hero at some point. So what the fuck? I guess we got to make him smart one way or another. Sure, why the fuck not, dude? I don't know, man. I mean, it just kind of fell flat as a comedy. It fell flat as a romance. And the adventure aspects are kind of cool, but you don't get enough of it to really care. Yeah, Romancing the Stone, this is not. Oh, man, what a pathetic adventure this is. Shit. Son of a bitch. It is what it is. If you go into the movie, man, check the expectations. Please, check expectations. Because honestly, if you're hoping this thing is anything adventurous or really funny, dude, you're going to be sadly disappointed. Oh, you really are, man. Good God, dude. Well, they do have the Lost City, but to turn things around a bit, they do have a little bit of DC animated love. Yes, the Blu-ray digital of Green Lantern, Beware My Power, for $22.96. Yes, look at this bad boy, baby. Some Green Lantern love. Finally, man. Not bad at all, baby. I love these DC animated movies. I've said it so many times, and I will say it ad nauseum many times more. I just really love these animated ones. I haven't watched them all. I haven't got into the back catalog, but a lot of the recent ones in recent months that I've watched have been amazing. And Green Lantern Beware My Power is exactly the same, dude. It is so great. Basically, it's about this former Marine, John Stewart, sort of a veteran, down on his luck, PTSD, and this ship crash lands, and he gets the Green Lantern Ring of Power, and he doesn't really know what's going on, what's happening, what the hell is this goddamn thing, and slowly but surely he's learning to become the Green Lantern among all of this space war battle stuff that's going on, and allegiances, enemies, heroes forgotten that come back even though we thought they were dead, and there's a whole lot of space opera going on, and Jon Stewart is all in the middle of it, man. And I gotta admit, I really love this movie. First of all, the animation, they kill it yet again, dude. The animation is top notch in this one. I love the different styles of the heroes. I love how they use the Green Lantern powers in the animation style. I think it's really fucking awesome, dude. I love seeing Sinestro and the various other DC heroes, whether it's Adam Strange or Arrow. I love that stuff so much, man. And I love this sort of fish out of water tale with this character. The fact that he is an instrument of war, a killing machine, so to speak. And, you know, having the Green Lantern powers, it really is one of those things where you can either use it for good or you could use it for evil. And depending on who wields the ring, in the wrong hands, it can go terribly, terribly wrong. Sinestro is definitely an example of that. And I love the idea of this guy who has so much trauma in his life, and the idea that he is given, in some ways, a second chance with this ring to be a better person again. And man, I think that's really phenomenal. It's a story definitely well worth telling. I love it, and I'm glad they're doing more Green Lantern stuff, man. This is absolutely a phenomenal movie. It's gripping, it's action-packed, really great characters. The voice acting is outstanding. DC, yet again, hits it out of the park, and this is no exception, man. Another really great one. Yes, we've seen a lot of the Batmans. Yes, we've seen a lot of the Supermans, Wonder Womans, you name it. But it's time to give Green Lantern a little love, and damn glad that it's getting its due. And then over on the side here, yet more new release love. I swear to God, now I gotta worry about the sides. Usually it was just the front section. Now I gotta worry about what the hell is on the side hanging out here, man. Dude, you never quite know. You gotta go check all of the angles of the displays now. Of course you do. Hey, can't complain, right? More new release love is more new release love regardless. And for this place, hey, I'll take what I can get, man. You know what I'm saying? With that dirty black bag for $16.96, season 1. Oh, really? AMC, huh? Huh. Dominic Cooper. Whoa. The gritty Western show? 8 episodes over 6 hours. Damn. What is this about, man? In a town full of bounty hunters, bandits, and bloody vendetta, Arthur McCoy is the incorruptible sheriff who's trying to overcome his troubled past to bring law and order to this new frontier. On the other side of things is Red Bill, an infamous solitary bounty hunter known for decapitating his victims. These two men collide. They both learn that in the Wild West, there are no heroes, nobody's invincible, and the predators may become the prey. Yeah. Oh, that actually sounds really cool, man. Damn, I love Dominic Cooper, dude. Dominic Cooper is such a great actor, man. He's awesome. I'm not the biggest fan of Westerns, though. That's the thing that kind of gets me, dude. I know, I say it every time. I like the old school shit. I really do, man. Now, that's not to say that the new school shit can't be just as good. It can. It's not easy to pull off, though. But if you have the right budget to it and good enough actors to pull it off, it might be a possibility. It just might be, man. Interesting. I don't really know much about these, to be honest with you, only because I don't really have AMC. I don't have cable anymore or anything like that. So, honestly, a lot of these shows really end up passing me by in a big bad way. It's kind of unfortunate, but it really is true, man. I mean, you need cable, you need every type of streaming service possible. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous how much you really need to get all of the entertainment, and I'm just not willing to pay that shit, dude. So certain things, especially nowadays, kind of pass me by, and this is one of them. I used to have AMC back in the old school Walking Dead days, but that was a long ass time ago, man. I don't think I'm getting AMC back anytime soon, but is it good? Is it worth it? As somebody who is an old school Western fan, is it something that reminds you of the old school stuff from Clint Eastwood, John Wayne, stuff like that? Or is it not worth the bother? Some AMC shows are really good and others fall a little flat. What do you guys think? Is it worth it to dive into, or leave it on the open range? Definitely let me know, indeed, man. But it looks kind of cool, and I love the cover, and with the horses and the action, it kind of intrigues me. I don't know. You guys gotta let me know, man. Looks interesting, though, but nice to see more new release love on the side and new release love in the front. Not bad, baby. Not bad at all. Walmart, I'd definitely be doing their due diligence this week, and I definitely love it. And you thought that was it, didn't you? Oh, you did? Well, that was before I saw a little bit of Quotable slipcover love? Oh, yes indeed, baby, yes. Oh, I always love this stuff, man. And more of it is never a bad thing. Truly, look at this. This is so cool, man. God. Ooh, they do have that Wonder Woman 2 film collection. Oh, that's awesome. Look at that. Cool. I'm willing to fight for those who cannot fight for themselves. Nice. Well, at least the first film is good. The second film is shit. And let's hope the third film is a hell of a lot better than the second film is. Damn, man, that failed epically. Holy shit. That failed really, really bad, man. I mean, they got the Harry Potter 8-film collection. They got the Lord of the Rings. You cannot hide, I see you. Actually, that's not a bad quote. There is better quotes, but I do kind of like that one. That's not bad. Friends. God, there's so many editions of Friends out there, man. There really seriously is. Yet another one. Quotable slipcover love for all you Friends fans? Yeah. Have at it, man. At that. You got the 3-film collection for Kong, Skull Island, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, and Godzilla v. Kong. Which is kind of weird to me because I still don't quite understand this, and I'm trying to figure this one out, because isn't the Godzilla remake, isn't that part of this still? That still baffles me why it's only a 3-film collection. Wouldn't they put it in a 4-film pack instead? I don't know, that never really quite made sense to me, why they never included that. I mean, I don't really love that movie anyways, but I'm just saying, just for diehards, it would make more sense to have it in there, but I don't know, man. I mean, I know they're doing another one. Obviously they are, because seriously, Godzilla vs. Kong practically printed money, okay? So they're making more of them, whether you like it or not. I didn't really love the films, but I will say this much. I loved Kong Skull Island. For some reason, man, Kong Skull Island, I fucking love, dude. Damn, man, if they would make a solo Kong film again, like a sequel, I would be so into that shit. However, I doubt that shit's gonna happen anytime soon, but hey, wishful thinking, you know what I'm saying? And they got that, they got the 5 movie collection, which we've seen before, the Fast and Furious one, which you've definitely seen. Ooh, they have Jaws. You're gonna need a bigger boat. Oh, damn right you are, man. God, I love this movie. This is the original. It's the one that started it all, man, and it's still effective to this day. And the fact that, like, Steven Spielberg had problems with the shark, it wasn't working, he was frustrated as shit, he wanted to see more of it on screen, but he couldn't. And I'm like, dude, it still came out aces, man. I mean, I'm just happy that we're never going to get a remake of this shit. There's certain films that you should never do remakes for, and Jaws is one of them. I mean, God knows we've got enough sequels that have watered down the damn thing, but to remake it, that just seems really wrong to me, man. It's such a goddamn classic, dude. Love that, man. And Robert Shaw as Quint, amazing. Just saying, absolutely phenomenal. They also have the Conjuring 3 film collection. This one still haunts me. Oh, I bet it does, baby. Oh, man. You know, I'm gonna be honest, I really only love the first Conjuring movie. I mean, the second one has its moments. The third one kind of felt like it ran the well dry, but the first one is really phenomenal, man. I own the first one, but that's really all I want to own. It kind of feels like the Conjuring franchise started out strong, and then it's been watered down ever since with all of the spin-offs and the various sequels, and unfortunately, sometimes you gotta learn when to stop. The unfortunate part is basically, you know, money talks, bullshit walks, and they're just going to keep making it until they can't make any more money out of it. That's exactly what's going to happen, and this is a prime example of it. I mean, I'm just saying, man. Goddamn shame, dude. Goddamn shame indeed, man. But hey, we'll always have the first film, put it that way, man. I mean, they've got that, Fantastic Beasts Law with the 2-film collection, which now is really pretty much like a paperweight at this point, because with the 3rd film out, you don't really need the 2-film collection anymore, but sure, why not? I mean, have at it. I mean, like the first film, after that, not so much, man. Just saying, not as impressive to me, but it is what it is, man. I mean, they've got the Dark Knight trilogy we've seen before, 50 Shades. Oh, Mr. Gray, we'll see you now. You know what? I'm going to be honest, man. I will still to this day, and I'm dead serious, I will still to this day defend that first movie, man. I know all the movies are shit, alright? But that first movie, for some reason, I really still love that first movie, man. The sequels suck ass, alright? I'll be fair, man. But I still really love that first film. For some reason, man, I'm still intrigued by that shit. I remember watching in the movie theater with Bob, of all people, and we're in the movie theater, and the ending happens, and I'm like, oh my god, it's like the ending of one of the Lord of the Rings films. They're heading towards Mount Doom. And Bob looked at me, he's like, are you fucking kidding me? And I'm like, dude, it was so great. And then the sequel just fucked it all up, man. I know a lot of you think, well, they fucked it up from the very beginning. I'm in the minority. Look, I realize it's crap, alright? But the first one's a guilty pleasure, you know. What the fuck? It is. You know, so sue me. The Kung Fu Panda 3 movie collection. Yeah, yes. Skadoosh. Oh man, the Kung Fu Panda movies are really great, man. I love them. Pure fun, man. Pure fun. Love them. The Croods are not half bad, man. You said Cave Girl like it's a bad thing. It never is, baby. Oh man, they're fun for what they are. I like the Kung Fu Pandas more, but the Croods are really fun for what they are. The Spirit, it's good for the kiddies. Not exactly my jam. The Shrek movies, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. I love the first two Shrek movies, man. Those movies are absolute classics. The third Shrek movie is not bad, all things considered. It's alright. The fourth one, I'm not really a fan of the fourth one too much. It's okay, but kind of watered down. I don't know, I kind of felt like the more they did the Shrek films, the more they continued to water them down more and more and more, and they're less effective, less enjoyable. I don't know, man. It's hard to beat those like first couple of Shrek movies. They tried, didn't exactly succeed. It was okay for what it was, man. No, not the buttons. Not my gumdrop buttons. I'm sorry. You know, sometimes you just look cool, goddamn delicious. You really honestly do, man. Oh, Lord. I mean, the Sing movies are really cool. Those are nice. I like those movies. Those are really fun. The Despicable Me franchise, man, the Despicable Me franchise literally prints money at this point. And the 4-movie collection is nice, but they just came out with the new movies, so why get the 4-movie collection when you can just wait? Eventually they'll do like a 5-movie collection thing, so really doesn't make any sense to pick that up unless you don't like the new movie, then have at it, man. But oh man, I gotta tell you, the Minions are cute. Hey, it is what it is, man. Man, they struck gold with this franchise. They seriously did, man. God damn, dude, they really did, man. As the Jetsons, man, you know what, look, I grew up with the Jetsons. I love that shit, man. I am a huge Jetsons fan from way back in the day when I was a kid, dude. That and the Flintstones were definitely my jam. And if you remember, there was the movie, right? Because there was the movie where the Jetsons met up with the Flintstones. Do you remember that? Oh my God, that was so good. Wow, that was like one of the best crossovers ever, man. I remember that shit so good. Oh, that's so great, man. God, old school days, I remember that jam, man. It was awesome, dude. Oh, great. Smokey and the Bandit. Now, Smokey and the Bandit is really great. The 7-movie collection, I don't know, man. I mean, basically, most of these are like straight to TV movies that are not very good. They're just sort of aping off of the name. Basically, the only Smokey and the Bandit movies you ever need are the first 2 Smokey movies. That's it. I mean, maybe the 3rd movie, all things considered, you'd probably watch, even though it's lesser. So, okay, I'll say the first 3. Honestly, even if you just get the first one is classic, man. For the money, for the glory, and for the fun. Okay, good quote, but there is better quotes out there. Maybe quotes that you can't exactly put on a cover. But it is really good, though, man. Man. Good times with the Smokey and the Bandit franchise. Can't say I want 7 movies of it, especially when a lot of them are just straight to TV crap. But, man, if you watch the first 2 or 3, that's a Smokey you will ever need. Just saying, indeed, man. Man, so good, dude. As is How to Train Your Dragon, the 3-movie collection, man. I love this series. This is great, man. Dude, these are great, phenomenal movies. Animation is amazing, so good, love them. Scooby-Doo, so good. This is my childhood, man. Just like Justin's childhood stuff, man. Love it. Love Scooby-Doo so much. Looney Tunes, I love as well. Maybe didn't get into the Looney Tunes as much as something like Jetsons or Scooby-Doo, but I still love the Looney Tunes so much. So infectiously fun and very devious as well, man. Some of that stuff in animation form, I don't know if you could technically get away with nowadays, but man, boy was it fun back in the day, dude. It was so good. The Wizard of Oz. There's no place like home. Indeed there isn't. We've seen this one before, but I gotta say, man, this is my mother's favorite movie of all time. She loves this movie so goddamn much, dude. She grew up with it. She ended up showing me it. And eventually, if I ever have kids, I will show them. It's a generational thing, man. It's one of the best movies of all time. It truly is. It's just fun. It's entertaining. The characters are timeless. God, I love it. And the singing and the musical numbers are amazing as well. Dude, perfect in every single way. No doubt, man. Amazing. As is Thundercats. Oh, great. Thundercats. Ho. Oh, man. God, again, this is my childhood, dude. Thundercats is my goddamn jam, just like the Jetsons, dude. I grew up watching Thundercats. Oh my God, do I miss Thundercats, man. Thundercats needs a revival in a big bad way, dude. I'm surprised they never made like a live action version or an animated movie. It's so good, dude. I'm surprised they never did, man. Ah, goddamn shame, man. This definitely does, because more kids need to know of Thundercats. There's goddamn serious, man. I mean, Chitara. Hello, I had some moments. All right, I really did, man. So effing good, dude. Oh, so fantastic. Love that series. And the Land Before Time series is not half bad. I mean, I haven't seen all of the Land Before Time movies. I think I've seen like 2 or 3. And then, oh my God, 14 movies? Okay, yeah, you know, I love Land Before Time, but 14... Yeesh, man. I mean, you have more movies than the Friday the 13th franchise. That's some scary shit. All crime, including murder, will be legal. Man, and the day that that happens is the day that I fucking move from this country. You bet your ass it is, man. Holy shit, dude. I do like the Purge movies. I don't love them. Certain ones I like better than others. I heard they're making another Purge movie. At this point, I kind of think it's overkill, dude. Haven't we said everything we needed to say with the Purge films? I mean, maybe there's one more that they could do in the franchise, but outside of that, man, just end it, dude. I mean, seriously, you don't need any more of it, just saying. Speaking of something you don't need more of, fucking hell, Space Jam. The first movie is all you ever need. Seriously, man, LeBron, he's a great basketball player. But he's shit for acting, okay, man? Don't take your talents to Hollywood. Please, to God. We've seen what your talents are, and they ain't shit. All right? Good God, man. The first movie is all you ever need. Michael Jordan kills it. That's it, bro. That's it. Nice with the Tom and Jerry love, man. Very cool. I was never as big of a Tom and Jerry fan as I was with Looney Tunes. Wasn't a huge Looney Tunes fan, but I was more of a fan of that than I was Tom and Jerry. Never really got into Tom and Jerry too much. Saw some, but not a ton, though. Not bad, though, all things considered. But Ghost? Oh, Ghost is my jam, man. Ditto. Come on, that's the code you're gonna use? There's so much better codes you can use, man. That's the one? I mean, it doesn't stop the movie from being great, because it really is, dude. Patrick Swayze, Demi Moore, Whoopi Goldberg. Fantastic movie, man. My mother loves this movie, and so do I. It's really great, really dramatic, really romantic. And I just love Patrick Swayze as a ghost, man. I kind of feel like Patrick Swayze is probably a ghost now and sort of doing some of the stuff that he did in this film. Or at least I'd like to think so, man. God, I miss Patrick Swayze, dude. God, I really do, man. So good. As is the Scream collection. Well, the 3-movie collection. What's your favorite scary movie? Oh, what is it indeed, man? Scream, Scream 2, and Scream 3 is all you ever fucking need, okay? Look, Scream 4 is not bad, all things considered. It's okay. It is what it is. Scream 5 is absolute bullshit, man. I'm gonna be real with you. I think it's bullshit. And I don't even want to see where they're going with Scream 6, because I can already tell it's probably going to be the same crap that Scream 5 is, man. Look, the 3 Scream films make up a really great trilogy, really great capper of a meta horror franchise. And I love what Wes Craven did with this, and Kevin Williamson, and I love the actors in here. I think it's amazing. Neve Campbell killed it. Courtney Cox, David Arquette. Amazing trio, and the 3 films are a really great example of a really great trilogy. Yes, the 3rd film is not as up to par as the 1st and 2nd, but I still think it's a worthy trilogy, man, and the only trilogy. You don't need 4 and 5. Just saying. Don't hate me, man. From one horror franchise to the next. Some Friday the 13th love. Oh, man. You're going to Camp Blood, ain't you? Oh, Crazy Ralph. Oh, you weird son of a bitch. Oh, Friday the 13th all the way to Jason Takes Motherfucking Manhattan. More like Jason takes a boat ride and then is in Manhattan for the last 10 minutes. But, you know, who's counting? Oh, man, I love the Friday the 13th franchise. I'm a huge fan of this franchise so much, man. This is one of my favorite horror franchises of all time. And when I'm always thinking about my favorite horror killers out there, horror movie killers, it's always sort of a toggle between Freddy and Jason. I never know which one to actually pick, right? Well, should I go with Jason or should I go with Freddy? I never really know exactly, and honestly, sometimes I just pick Jason because, dude, I just love the movies and I love his kills. This big badass motherfucker that doesn't even need to run, man. He just needs to casually walk and he'll catch all of his victims. I love it, dude. The creative kills and the quirky characters, yeah, I've always have a soft spot for this franchise and still do to this day. They don't need to make any more within the franchise. The movies themselves are just good enough for me, man. I don't want to see the new shit. I'm happy with the old shit, and that is purely enough for me. I am serious, and don't call me Shirley. Oh, Airplane, one of the best parody comedies of all time, man. Dude, there is so much shit in this movie that you would never do nowadays, man. They got away with so much shit back in the day, dude, and I love this movie for that so much. So good, man. God, I love this movie so much. As I love Breakfast at Tiffany's, she said, I think I remember that film, and yes, I recall, I think we both kind of liked it, and I said, well, that's the one thing we got. Oh, man, I love that fucking song, dude, so much. God damn, dude, Breakfast at Tiffany's, man. I'll tell you one thing, Fred, darling. I'd marry you for your money in a minute. Oh, I bet you would. Audrey Hepburn, so fantastic of a movie, man. Classic, baby. Classic. So great. Oh, as is Clueless. Okay, Clueless is not as classy as Breakfast at Tiffany's, but I still love it, man. I'm not a prude. I'm just highly selective. That's what I tell my girlfriend all the time. I love this movie so much. Dude, I grew up with this movie, man. Alicia Silverstone, so iconic. The quoting lines in this movie is so great. I love Paul Rudd in this film, man. So infectiously fun and entertaining. Love this movie so much. And Mean Girls, dude. Mean Girls would not exist if it wasn't for Clueless. Okay, I'm just saying. I mean, I love Mean Girls. I think Lindsay Lohan is great in here. Tina Fey's good. On Wednesdays, we wear pink. Well, you do a lot of things I don't approve of. Oh, man. Great movie, but doesn't hold a candle to Clueless, but still really good regardless, man. Really love that movie, but come on, man. Grease, man. Oh, dude. We're gonna rule the school. I bet you are, baby. Oh, man. There is so many quotes that you could have used. More iconic ones, to be fair. Oh, dude. I really love Grease, man. I think Grease is so fun, iconic, great characters, quotable lines, great singing and dancing in here. I mean, I do love Grease 2 more. Just saying. I know it's not a popular opinion, but I don't give a damn. Alright, I love Grease 2 more than this, but look, I give Grease its due. It's so damn good, man. No doubt about it. Really fantastic. As is Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Oh, man. Ferris Bueller, you're my hero. Hell, Ferris Bueller's my hero. What the hell am I talking about, man? God. You know, back when I was in school, I loved watching Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and I always thought to myself, man, could I get away with the same shit that Ferris Bueller got away with? Could I literally pretend to be sick and then go on like this great adventure with my friends? Of course, I was a lot lamer than Ferris is. But To be fair, man, it was just so fun seeing the world through Ferris Bueller and just the crazy hijinks that he went through, man. So iconic. I love the character so much. And I'm glad they only made one film. You don't need multiple films. You only needed the one. And I'm just so glad. I always heard rumors of like a sequel or a reboot at some point. No. The original is all you really need. Just saying, man. So good. As is Wayne's World. It'll be mine. Oh, yes. It will be mine. Indeed it will, man. You know what? It just blows my mind that an SNL skit about these two dumb asses who love rock and roll ended up becoming such a really popular movie series, man. I mean, you just never know what's gonna hit, dude. But I love Wayne and Garth. I love Mike Myers in here, man. He's so great. And it's just infectiously fun. It really is, man. Not every SNL movie really hit, but Wayne's World did, and I love it, man. And the second movie is really good, too. Not as great as the first movie, but still really fantastic. I really love it so much, man. Dude, so good, man. Love it. And actually, to be honest with you, Wayne's World actually introduced me to Bohemian Rhapsody. No lie, as it probably introduced a lot of people to Bohemian Rhapsody too. So good, man. So good. And just as good, if not more iconic, Better Off Dead. Oh, man. I want my $2. What the hell? That paperboy is still trying to get his fucking money? God, that crazy son of a bitch. Oh my lord. Dude, I love this movie. I grew up with this movie. It's one of the movies that I fell in love with John Cusack so much. I love the quirky characters, the crazy situations, and oh yeah, this is the movie. The one where he works at the burger joint and he's sort of imagining like the burgers coming to life and they're singing and dancing like some Van Halen song. Something. Oh my god, it's so weird, dude. But I love the movie so much, man. I really do. God, this was my jam back in the day. I love this shit so much, dude. So good. Oh, it's so great, man. As is Dynasty. Wow. Oh, actually, sorry, Duck Dynasty, the complete series. Victoria's got her secrets. Hey, so do I. You know what? I'd rather know what Victoria's secrets are than yours. Just saying, alright? Damn, dude. You know, I never watched any of Duck Dynasty. I'm not really a reality TV show guy. I never got into Survivor or all that other stuff. It just wasn't my jam. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying it's something I would never really get into. But hey, the people who are fans of it, hey, man, they have Quotable slipcover lover Duck Dynasty. Now I've definitely seen it all, man. I really have. Oh, they even have one for Hacksaw Ridge. Well, everybody's taking life. I'm going to be saving it. What a great war movie. Not as iconic as some of the other war movies out there, but dude, I love Andrew Garfield in this movie so much. So dramatic, really well made. Love this movie so much. As, oh, come on, Young Guns, Reap the Whirlwind. Oh, man, dude, Young Guns is the shit. I love Young Guns so much, man. The cast is amazing here. Emilio Estevez, Kiefer Sutherland, Charlie Sheen, Dermot Mulroney. Oh, my God, man. Amazing people in this movie. Lou Diamond Phillips. Boy, this was like a who's who of young actors back in the day, man. I love it. Even Young Guns 2 is really good. Not as good as the first Young Guns, but still pretty good regardless, man. Oh, as is Total Recall. Get ready for a surprise. Oh, come on, man. That's not the best quote. Get your eyes to Mars. That's the quote, baby. That's the one you need to use, but something tells me that they wouldn't put that on a slipcover, though. Oh, God, this is so great. I love it. Man, Paul Verhoeven, dude, kills in this movie. Schwarzenegger is awesome. Great action, weird creatures, great special effects. Man, I mean, just the chick with the 3 boobs alone. That definitely got me going, man. Oh, shit. Look, it's so really great, inventive, creative, ridiculous, but in the best, like, way possible. 80s cheese and ridiculousness and over the top. So good, man. That remake, dude, is shit compared to this. The original is so much better. So much better, man. And speaking of really great, Highlander, there can only be one. Oh, damn right there can be. Holy shit, this is such a good movie, man. Christopher Lambert, Sean Connery, So goddamn iconic, man. I think there's actually a 4K that's supposed to be coming soon down the line, which I'm really looking forward to. You know, I've not watched all of the Highlander movies. Honestly, some of them I had no interest in, but the first one is so amazing, and I love this movie so much. And then they kind of shit the bed with the second movie. I mean, the second movie isn't as bad as everybody says it is, but it was kind of a step back from the first movie. But still, man, the first Highlander movie is still absolutely amazing to this day, man. And God, man, if there is a 4K coming, man, I'm gonna have to buy that shit. That is amazing, dude. Oh, Terminator Dark Fate. I love the cover to this, man, with just the glasses and the red eyes, man. I love that shit. I'll be back. Oh, well, probably not, especially with this franchise. Sorry, Sarah. Oh, man. You want to know what? I see a lot of hate online for Terminator Dark Fate, and I actually really like Terminator Dark Fate. I think the problem with Dark Fate is not that it's a bad movie, because I don't really think it is. I think the problem is there has been so many shitty sequels, and they've just tried to reboot this thing so goddamn much that people saw another Terminator movie. They saw James Cameron sort of promoting it a little bit. Oh, this is the next best thing, and everyone's like, bullshit, dude. And unfortunately, I think a lot of people didn't really give it a chance. I mean, like I said, it's not the best one, but as far as some of the sequels go, dude, it's actually pretty goddamn solid, man. I mean, Salvation is bullshit, and don't even get me started with Genesis, or as I like to call it, Jenny Smith. Man, what bullshit that was, man. Damn, dude. I mean, the show was good, but it just felt like they've just kept trying to redo it over and over again, lesser results. I mean, this movie's not perfect, it's not great, but I thought it was a really great jumping off point to other Terminator stories, but yeah, we ain't never gonna get it, man. I think at this point, just leave the Terminator franchise alone. Just, honestly, it's been beaten like a dead horse. Just leave it alone, dude, please. Good God, man. And honestly, don't bring Arnold back. As much as I love Arnold, dude, he's done. Alright, just saying, dude. Ah, yes, another really great gem worth quoting. Sell me this pen? Oh, you bet your ass I'll try my best. Can't say I'll succeed, but shit, I'll try, man. The Wolf of Wall Street. Dude, this movie is fucking awesome. Man, dude, when I first heard about this movie, I'm like, okay, it's about corporate greed. I'm like, how good is this movie gonna be? I mean, I know it's Scorsese, and I shouldn't doubt Scorsese, but I'm like, how ridiculous is this movie gonna get? Dude, it is so weird and bizarre and ridiculous and over the top, and Scorsese just goes for it. And DiCaprio is fucking phenomenal in this movie, man. He's absolutely fantastic. Dude, he should have won the Oscar for this movie. He really should have. I mean, look, I like The Revenant, don't get me wrong, but he more deserved it for this movie than he did for Revenant. I don't know if that's a hot take or anything. I'm just saying, man, but I love Jonah Hill here. Margot Robbie. Dude, when I saw this in the movie theater, I saw it alone, right? And a lot of guys were with their wives or their girlfriends. Man, let me tell you something. I saw a lot of women giving dirty looks to their men, smacking them. I'm like, yeah, I can't blame the guys, man. Dude, she is irresistible. Woo, good Lord, man. It is just such an over-the-top movie in every single way. And the fact that it's true is even more crazy and ridiculous. It's amazing, and Scorsese kills it. One of his best that he's ever done. Even at his old age. Guy still got it, man. Still got it. It's so awesome, man. God, I love that movie. Oh my God, the final one. The Warrior. Yes. Can you dig it? Oh, dude. God damn, do I love The Warriors, man. This is classic, man, in every single aspect. I love the different gangs. I love the gang battles and the warfare and them trying to survive the night. Shit, dude, it's so absolutely amazing. Walter Hill, man, this is one of his best films of all time. I just love the sort of gang warfare in New York City and the seedy world of it. I fucking love it, dude. Man, this movie is absolutely the tits in every single aspect, man. There will never be another movie like The Warrior. They can try, but they ain't never gonna succeed, dude. This is amazing of a movie. So goddamn much, dude. Man, if any movie deserves quotable slipcover love, this movie, you bet your ass definitely does, man. Oh, so fucking good, dude. Man, as is all of these in one way or another. Very interesting quotable slipcover love. Some we've seen before, others we've never seen. I just love checking this shit out, man. I do. I mean, basically, they're the same editions, old DVD editions, which just has new slipcovers on top of it. I mean, if you dig it, then have at it, man. I know there's a lot of slipcover fans out there. They love their slippies. Hell, I love my slipcover love, too. And, hey, what's better than quotable slipcover love? I mean, come on, man. It's absolutely amazing, and it's awesome. Seriously, it's great. Oh, dude, so cool to see this more slipcover love, and that is never a bad thing. Oh, never a bad thing indeed, dude. So friggin' awesome, as usual. Walmart definitely killed it this week. New release love, slipcover goodness, not half bad at all, man. Really fantastic. Man, I actually have to say that Walmart did good this week. Well, that's strange, but they actually did. Shocker of a lifetime. Let's head out. I don't always do it, but when I have to, I praise Walmart. From time to time, do I? Ever so occasionally. I can't say I do it all the time. I can't say I like doing it because, trust me, sometimes this place is a real goddamn shame, okay? It really is, okay? I have seen moments where this Walmart has jack shit, okay? So the fact that they have a lot of new release love this week, they have all of the major goodies, they have a little bit of indie love. On top of that, they also happen to actually have unique slipcover quotable ones at that, man. Alright, yeah, they did pretty good after all. Alright, not too shabby, man. I mean, if they didn't have the goodies this week, I'd be a little bit worried. So they definitely did their due diligence. And thank the Lord for that one, man. The physical media gods apparently were smiling down on this Walmart, and it's about damn time. Let's hope they do it more often, because they definitely need it. But in the meantime, we'll take what we can get. Oh, we damn sure will. I know you will as well. But there is definitely more physical media goodness out there. So how about we go searching? All right, everybody. We are at our second location, Target. But before I go in, I gotta talk to you guys about something. And, man, this will sure be fun to talk about. You know, some people just need to keep their mouth shut. Seriously, they really do, man. And Mickey, you're one of them. From Variety, Mickey Rourke slams Tom Cruise. He's irrelevant and has played the same part for 35 effing years. You don't say, huh? Let's dive in, shall we? Tom Cruise is the movie star of the year thanks to the billion, that's with a B, dollar grossing success of Top Gun Maverick, but at least one Oscar nominee is not impressed. Mickey Rourke recently appeared on Piers Morgan Uncensored and slammed Cruise as irrelevant, which is sure to strike many moviegoers as odd, considering that the Top Gun sequel is far and away the biggest movie of the year. That doesn't mean shit to me, said Rourke about the film's success. Tom Cruise has been doing the same part for 35 effing years. I got no respect for that. I don't care about money or power. I care about when I was watching Al Pacino or Christopher Walken working, or De Niro's early work, and Richard Harris and Ray Winstone. That's the kind of actor I want to be like. A lot of guys that try to stretch as actors. According to Rourke, Cruise has not stretched his acting muscles for the last 3 decades. When asked if Tom Cruise is a good actor, Rourke fired back, I think he's irrelevant. Just so we put into context for a second, guys, with $1.18 billion at the worldwide box office and nearly $600 million in the U.S., Top Gun Maverick is the highest-grossing movie of 2022 and the biggest film of Cruise's career. At this rate, only fall tentpoles Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, and Avatar: The Way of Water are the contenders to outgross Top Gun Maverick. So he's irrelevant, huh? Okay. I wonder what that $1.18 billion has to say about that one, huh? Huh, Mickey? Oh, shit. God damn, Mickey, man. You know, I like Mickey Rourke, all things considered. I do. Man, back in the day, he was awesome as an actor, dude. I mean, he was great. Angel Heart. Come on, he was great in Angel Heart. And he had so many great
great movies that he did. And now the dude is just looking for attention at this point. I mean, maybe he really believes it. Maybe he does, but Tom Cruise has stretched himself from time to time. Yes, not always. I mean, yes, he's the action guy, Mission Impossible and the Top Gun movies and everything like that. But, dude, if that's his bread and butter, if that's working for him, why stop now, dude? I mean, honestly, who would I rather take as an actor? Mickey Rourke or Tom Cruise? Honestly, I'm taking Tom Cruise, wouldn't you? I mean, all things considered, and let's be real about this for a second, man. I mean, when was the last time that you really thought about Mickey Rourke or gave a shit about Mickey Rourke? Put it that way, all right? I mean, nowadays, Mickey Rourke looks like if Joan Rivers got into a bad boxing match, okay? I mean, Jesus, dude. I mean, my God, man. I mean, even Rocky would be like, yo, your face is messed up. I mean, seriously. Fucking hell, man. Stop with the plastic surgery, man. It ain't good. It's not doing you any wonders, man. Shit, you start looking like a Siamese cat. Fuck, man. I mean, it doesn't help. But on top of that, he's not making any movies that are really worthwhile. The last movie that he really made worthwhile that I thought was awesome. I mean, yes, the first Sin City movie, no doubt, but also The Wrestler. Man, I love The Wrestler. That's a great fucking movie, dude. He was even really good in Iron Man 2. I'll give him credit there. I thought he was great in Iron Man 2. I had no problems with him. And unfortunately, he had a little bit of a comeback. He messed up his comeback. And now there's really nothing else for him except for straight-to-DVD movies, which no one really gives a shit about. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's the honest truth. I mean, you can slam Tom Cruise for a lot of things. Okay, trust me. You honestly can. And I mean, the Scientology stuff alone, okay, well worth slamming him for. The relationship that he's had with certain women, and even maybe some movie roles here and there that you could be like, dude, did you really have to take that shit? Did you really have to do that? Come on, man. I mean, you could slam him for various things. But there is no doubt that over the course of his career, he has sustained his movie star status. He has been able to keep the train rolling for a long-ass time, man. Many, many decades. And that's because he's a very smart businessman. He knows what works and what doesn't. And he knows that certain movies are vital to keep his career going. And he's been able to play the long game. And not many actors are able to do that. Tom Cruise is one of them. You can say that he isn't always great in every role that he does, and that's the truth, but he knows a franchise when he sees it, and he knows potential when he sees it too. And he is a guy that takes risks. I mean, look, Top Gun 2 wasn't necessarily a guaranteed movie, okay? It wasn't guaranteed to make over $1 billion. I mean, we knew that the movie would probably do pretty well because it's Top Gun, but, dude, nobody thought that it was going to be that big. But the movie is good, and people like the action in it, and people kept coming back for more. Tom Cruise is smart that way. He's a good businessman. Mickey Rourke isn't. Does that make Tom Cruise irrelevant? No, it makes him smart, and it makes him clever, and he knows what he's doing in this industry. You might not like the way that he handles his personal life, fair enough, but you gotta respect his business sensibilities. Mickey Rourke doesn't have that, and so Mickey is just trying to find any and all ways to stay relevant. And you know, saying a line like that, hey, he ain't shit, you know, whatever, he's irrelevant, he's been doing the same fucking role for so long. Fine, you say that, people give you attention. But honestly, Mickey, look, man, you had your opportunities. You failed. Tom Cruise is still succeeding. Give the man his due. Respect him, okay? Because he deserves respect regardless. Again, you might have certain issues with him, but you can't deny that the man is a movie star, and he has maintained his movie star status for all this long because he knows how to play the game well. You don't, Mickey. Don't fault the man. fault the game. I'm just saying, what do you think about that? Do you agree with Mickey Rourke that he's irrelevant, that he hasn't had an acting challenge in so long? I mean, I tend to beg to differ. I mean, look at something like Magnolia. Magnolia's really fucking good, man. You're telling me he didn't stretch himself for that? Come on, man. I don't know. Mickey Rourke's talking out of his ass, dude. But honestly, what do you think? Please don't tell me you agree with Mickey Rourke. Please don't tell me indeed, man. But if you do, fine, whatever. Just explain yourself, will ya? I like Mickey. I used to like him, but honestly, he's a sad sack of what he used to be. And the plastic surgery ain't helping none. Just saying, dude. Just saying. Let me know about that. But in the meantime, hey, Walmart have physical media love. But what about Target? I sure hope they do. How about we go in? Check it out.
All right, everybody. We are in at good old Target, baby. And yes, new release love. I knew they wouldn't fail us. Come on, man. It's Target. They haven't failed us in a long time. And they ain't about to start now. Oh, that's for damn sure, man. Let's dive into the new release love with The Doctor is in to see you now in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. The DVD for $19.99, the Blu-ray digital for $24.99, the good old reliable 4K love for $29.99, and yes, yet another exclusive for the Doctor, the 4K Blu-ray digital art edition, exclusive original design, limited edition prints for $34.99. Oh, look at this. This actually looks really interesting to me. I like this. With Strange and the different versions of Strange there on the side, I like that. That's pretty nice. And oh, look at those prints. Oh, those prints are rather tasty. That is nice. Not bad of an addition, man. Can't say I always love every Target edition, but this one actually looks pretty damn sweet, man. Indeed it does. Nice. Oh, man. They definitely loving the Doctor this week. Oh, indeed they are, man. You know, and I gotta admit, this movie at moments is literally batshit crazy insane with all the weird stuff that's going on in this movie, and the reason why it works as well as it does, at least in my opinion, is because of Mr. Raimi. Yes, Mr. Sam motherfucking Raimi himself came in to take charge and take over the sequel, baby, and goddamn did he. Oh, dude, man, this is an amazing movie for him as far as a director is concerned, right? And I wish Scott Derrickson would have come back to the sequel. That would have been cool, but honestly, he was doing his own thing. He was having issues with Marvel. They weren't seeing eye to eye. Okay, fine, whatever. But bringing in Sam Raimi is actually a pretty brilliant and ingenious idea, man. And I love what Raimi does with this film. I love his signature style of directing and the way he moves the camera and how he really embraces the more crazy, ridiculous ideas and gives it his usual Raimi flair. You know, which is something that I really, really dig, man. And I've always really loved Sam Raimi, man. I mean, all the way back in the day, Evil Dead 2, even to the more bigger blockbuster stuff like the Spider-Man movies. Ah, yes, good old nostalgia those films are, man. God damn, dude. And what I always love about Raimi is he's a very bold filmmaker with his camera choices and the way that he directs a scene, and he really wants actors to commit to the roles, man. You look at something like the Evil Dead franchise, Evil Dead 2, the things that he put Bruce Campbell through. Oh my God, man. Like, I don't know if many actors would have put up with everything that Raimi was asking for other than Bruce Campbell, dude. My God, man, he went through the ringer. But again, I think Raimi really loves that style of devotion. I think Raimi really loves the fact of how far can I push an actor to really go to do the most ridiculous and insane things. And if they do it, Well, shit, I'll push even further, man. And he does the same thing with the whole camera operating as well, which is really phenomenal. And it doesn't matter whether it's low budget stuff or bigger budget movies. Just look at that sequence in this film with Zombie Strange, right? The undead doctor and all the crazy hijinks. Man, that is straight out of Army of Darkness. That's straight out of Raimi's playbook, man. He's just got more money to play with, and he ends up being able to do a hell of a lot more stuff than he was able to do before. I mean, that's his style. It doesn't matter whether he did it 30 years ago or did it this year. He's still the same filmmaker, he just gets more toys in the toy box, per se. I mean, you even look at that sequence in Spider-Man 2, right? Where Doc Ock is coming alive with all of the tentacles and everything, and he's attacking the people in the hospital, right? You look at that sequence, and that is straight out of Evil Dead, man. Some of those shots are straight out of that movie. And again, he's able to play it because he has more tools in the toolbox. Yes, it's not as gory, obviously, but he's still able to squeeze it for all it's worth. I mean, that's the Raimi way, man. You stretch a dollar as far as it can possibly go, man, because that's his way of indie filmmaking. That's what he grew up with as a filmmaker, and that's what he had to do to get it done, man. Okay, well, we've only got one tube of blood, right? Okay, we're just gonna splash it all over the place, and hopefully the continuity works, right? Because we're not gonna waste a single ounce of this fake blood on anything for anybody, okay? We are going to use every single fucking ounce of it, man. We are going to get the craziest performances we possibly can. We are going to exhaust our actors like a motherfucker because, well, why not? We only got one shot at it, so fuck it, let's go all out. I mean, that's the type of filmmaker he is, and he's never lost that, no matter how many movies he's done, no matter how long he's been doing it for. And I love that. And actually, there was a really great interview with Bruce Campbell at Comic-Con recently, and he was talking about working with Sam Raimi on the set of Multiverse of Madness. And he talked about Sam Raimi sort of like how he's almost like a painter with the camera, that he ends up using the camera to his benefits to service the story. Like, for instance, in A Simple Plan. A Simple Plan is a very straightforward tale. And you'll notice in that movie what ends up happening is that there's not a lot of handheld shots. There's not a lot of really crazy motion with the camera. It's very straightforward, not really anything nutty or anything like that. But as the film starts to get more weirder and bizarre and go into some more darker territory, you'll notice that the camera starts to change. There's more handheld shots. He's really going a little bit more bonkers with the camera because the characters are going crazier. So he's servicing the camera to where the journey of the characters are going and the story. And that's what I really fucking love about that director, man. That's what I really dig about Sam Raimi. And again, it doesn't matter whether it's the lowest of low budgets or whether he gets to play in the Marvel sandbox. He's still the same guy. He's got more tricks of the trade, more tricks up his sleeve, per se. But that's why I love the guy so much, because he doesn't change as a filmmaker because he gets fame. He's the same dude that made Evil Dead, is the same guy that made Multiverse of Madness, and I fucking love it, man. There is certain moments in this movie that is pure Raimi, and you could tell, you can feel it, and I love it, man. And I just love Sam Raimi, dude. Whether it's Dark Man, whether it's The Quick and the Dead, the Evil Dead stuff, Simple Plan, this movie, he is phenomenal. The Spider-Man stuff, he is absolutely a phenomenal filmmaker that has done some really amazing, wild, and varied work, and I just love what he does, man. This may be the only time that he ever plays in the Marvel sandbox. This might be it, guys. There might not be ever another chance that Sam Raimi does it. But you want to know what? If this is the only MCU Raimi flick we ever get, then you want to know what? I'm happy with it, because it's pure Raimi bonkers craziness, and he's just having a ball playing here and really just
making a meal out of it. And he has actors like Benedict Cumberbatch who is game for anything, dude. He goes for it in a big bad way, and Raimi loves that. He loves doing the most craziest, weirdest shit and having actors really commit to him and really going into some really odd places that might be weird in the moment, but when you see it, it so works, man. That's the Raimi style, that's the Raimi way, and that's the Raimi that I love. From wizards to cosmic protectors. What a transition, baby. Oh, seriously, man. Isn't it great, though, to just hop from one company to another? We saw a little bit of Marvel, now we're over to DC. There's something really great about that, man, seriously. In Green Lantern, beware my power. The Blu-ray digital for $24.99. Oh, very nice indeed. Some DC love never hurt nobody. Oh, never hurt nobody indeed, man. Now, let me ask you guys this question, because I'm actually kind of curious, right? So, out of all the major heavy hitters of the DC universe, and no, I'm not talking about the bit players or the side ones, right? I'm talking about the major ones like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Aquaman, you know, the big recognizable ones, including Green Lantern. Which is the one that's gotten the short shaft? Which is the one that's been the most underutilized? I'll give you one hint. He's green. Yeah, that pretty much says it all. No, I'm not talking about Martian Manhunter, even though, yeah, that cat's a little underutilized as well. Dude, he should be doing a hell of a lot more in the DC universe than he actually is, man. Damn, when is he gonna get his due, too? But seriously, it's Green Lantern, man. I mean, out of all of them, he barely has been able to get much cinematic love, and that really sucks, man. I mean, Batman, he's been represented in a big bad way. Superman has, Wonder Woman has started to, hell, even Aquaman's starting to get the love. And I thought I'd never see that day, but here we are, man. So what about Green Lantern? When can we get more cinematic goodness with that dude? I mean, when is that gonna actually happen? Man, I'd love to see it sometime soon, but I kind of feel like he keeps on getting the back burner constantly, over and over again, man. Now, it's not like he hasn't had cinematic representation. I mean, he had the Green Lantern movie. Everybody loves that one, right? Right? Bueller? Oh, man. God, we really gotta talk about that dumpster fire? Shit. Man, I think that put back Green Lantern a step or two. Son of a bitch, man. I mean, I actually thought there was a really good opportunity with maybe the Zack Snyder universe, because when I saw his 4-hour cut of Justice League, there is some Green Lantern stuff in there, right? There's some really cool stuff in there for Green Lantern. Just a little tease tidbit, and I'm like, oh my God, man. He's kind of wanting to do it. I'm like, oh my God, Green Lantern, yes. And now, obviously, Zack Snyder is just not even a thing anymore within DC. They don't even want to acknowledge the motherfucker. So it's like, okay, I guess that whole Green Lantern thing went tits up, didn't it? I mean, shit, man. I guess they could do a CW show, but I really have no faith in that either, because with his cosmic powers, there would have to be a lot of CGI, a lot of computer graphics and effects, and I'm like, on a CW budget, are you kidding me, man? Like, I don't think that's even an option, man. I mean, throwing it out there, but yeah, in all reality, yeah, that's not even a fucking thing, dude. I mean, the Lantern Corps has a rich, extremely rich history, man. And whether you do Hal Jordan or Jon Stewart, whoever it may be, you could do some fantastic, amazing stories. And I kind of feel like they haven't really taken the opportunity to do it. I mean, yes, that Ryan Reynolds movie really failed hardcore, okay? And maybe studios kind of look at that, I'm like, oh, I don't know if we really want to do that. I get it, but dude, that movie really had a lot of bad shit in it. I mean, you can't put a stigma on Green Lantern just because of that Ryan Reynolds movie, even though I think that's what they're doing anyways, which is a goddamn shame, man. I mean, I really love animated movies like this that really show the cinematic potential of Green Lantern, and it is absolutely endless, man. With the cosmos and the storytelling and the different powers, man, you could do some amazing, rich stories out there, and I just don't know if we're ever gonna get it, man. I mean, right now, DC is an absolute clusterfuck. I mean, not the animated stuff. The animated stuff is killing it, but as far as the live-action cinematic stuff, dude, man, they are in a bind big time, and they gotta get their act together before they can ever really take on something like Green Lantern. I would love to see more Green Lantern adventures out there, and at least with the animated stuff, at least gives me somewhat of a fix so I can at least appreciate that much. But man, we do need big cinematic Green Lantern Gold. We need something like that, man, and hopefully in the future we get it. But in the meantime, cherish the animated adventures, because these ones truly make the Lantern tales worth diving into in a big bad way. Jon Stewart might have the ring of power, but Sandra Bullock has charm for days. Oh, indeed she does, baby. In the Lost City, the 4K digital for $27.99, the Blu-ray digital for $22.99, and the DVD for $17.99. Oh yes, because honestly, if it wasn't for Sandra Bullock, man, this movie be shit. Oh, it really would, man. Oh, God, you know, and I gotta give Sandra Bullock a lot of credit, because she doesn't always pick the best projects, and sometimes you kind of wish that she'd be a little bit smarter with her choices, but at the end of the day, a lot of times, even a bad movie that Sandra Bullock is in, she ends up saving it somehow, some way, because of her. And I think it's because of her charm, it's because of her likability, and she has, it's weird to say, but kind of a glow as an actress. Like she has that really great quality where it's sort of comforting to watch Sandra Bullock, right? She's kind of like a nice hot chocolate to have, or an apple pie, where it just is comforting to watch a Sandra Bullock flick. I don't know, it's weird to say that, but it really honestly is the truth, man. And I really do believe that, and I think that's what makes even the bad movies somewhat entertaining, is because of her. And the proof is in the pudding, to be honest with you. It really is. If you look at Sandra Bullock's filmography, the majority of what she's done, she enhances the movie by her presence. I mean, seriously, the chemistry that she has with other actors is phenomenal, and she's able to pull it off, man. I mean, you look at something like Speed, right? I mean, I guess you could have gotten any actress to be in there, right? All they're doing is really driving the bus, right? But you need somebody that's going to have chemistry with Keanu, somebody that's actually going to be the calmness to the storm that is Keanu, where he's like, gotta drive the bus. You know, and yes, she has her moments of levity and her moments of comedy, and it really works. It really honestly does, man. She's a great person to have as sort of that back and forth. She really honestly works well at it. I mean, you look at Hope Floats with Harry Connick Jr. and the chemistry that she had with him. You look at Two If by Sea. It's really not easy to have chemistry with Dennis Leary, all right? Not many people are able to pull it off. Sandra Bullock happens to do that. Even Demolition Man. She's supposed to have, in some ways, emotions and feelings for an older Sylvester Stallone, and you're like, oh man, okay. and she makes it work, man. She has a certain amount of charm and cuteness to her that you just like seeing her on screen, man. And whether it's movies like Practical Magic, which, oh my god, I love Practical Magic, dude, that movie's fucking phenomenal, or even intense thrillers like The Net, she brings a certain amount of comfort to those roles that you just love seeing her in. And there's certain actresses that only wish they had that. I mean, you look at somebody like a Jennifer Lopez, and look, don't get me wrong, I like Jennifer Lopez and all, but she doesn't have the same type of factor that Sandra Bullock has. It's very rare to have that. Even somebody like an Angelina Jolie,
she doesn't really even have that. When you even look at a movie like 28 Days, right, where this chick is dealing with alcoholism and, you know, being checked into this facility, she still has a really great likability where you're like, well, yeah, she has a drinking problem, but it's really not that bad, right? I mean, she's funny. You know, you just kind of go with her a lot of times, and I really appreciate that about Sandra Bullock. I really honestly do. She's one of my mother's favorite actresses, and I can see why. Because everything she does is really great. And even in romantic comedies, she's really good. You look at something like While You Were Sleeping or The Proposal with Ryan Reynolds. Great movies, man. Phenomenal stuff. And I think she's able to have chemistry with people that you would never think that she would have chemistry with. But she pulls it off because she's that damn good. But honestly, well, even actresses have their limits, because honestly, she couldn't pull it off with Channing Tatum to save her fucking life, man. And that's a goddamn shame. Channing Tatum, you know, I don't mind Channing Tatum, but he loves to play a lunkhead. You know, a fucking idiot, dude, who's got, you know, the body and the 12-pack, and he's got the looks and everything, but he ain't that smart upstairs, man. And usually Sandra Bullock can sort of counter that, and in some ways she does in this movie, but not enough to have, like, a chemistry where you feel like she wants to have a relationship with him. Yeah, Sandra Bullock is way too good for Channing Tatum, man. And honestly, when she gets with him at the end of the movie, I'm like, lady, you are really trading downwards. I'm just saying. I know he's a hunk. I know he's got all the muscles and everything, but let's just put it this way. In the movie, I just wish the leech actually went onto his dick. Oh, man. That actually might have been one of the only hilarious things in the fucking movie. Alright, Jesus. Look, man, Sandra Bullock is amazing. I love her as an actress. But sometimes, even the really best actresses sometimes can't pull off even certain movies where it should be easy, but sometimes, well, it's not as easy as you might think. Goddamn shame, man. I love Sandra. This movie does not paint her in a negative light. She is the best thing about this movie, and damn glad for her, because she saves it in even the smallest way possible. Good actresses can do that. Bad movies can be saved, even in a little bit, by good acting and good persona and good chemistry and good charm. And Sandra has it for days. That is for damn sure, man. She definitely does, and I'm damn glad for her. This movie would be shit if it wasn't for this chick. Just saying, man. Just saying indeed. But hey, look, Target and the physical media goodness. Yes. It can't be beat yet again, and damn glad for it. Let's head out. Yes, the comfort of good old physical media at Target, man. It's just like a warm blanket. You just want to wrap yourself up in it and just fall asleep. So good. Oh, so good indeed, man. Target has yet to disappoint us in a very, very long time. Maybe they don't have all of the physical media love, but they definitely have enough to satisfy the itch. You know what I'm saying? Oh, they definitely do, man. And this week is definitely no exception. They kept up with Walmart. Usually they don't have to keep up with nobody, but they're keeping up with Walmart this week with the new release love and the exclusive goodness as well, which definitely can't be beat. Not bad at all, baby. Not too shabby indeed. It's good to have a place like Target that is definitely keeping it down with the physical media love. That is for damn sure, man. And I'm not gonna lie, it definitely makes me a very happy physical media boy, and I know it does for you as well. Oh, absolutely, baby. The good old comfort of physical media love. Not every retail store actually supplies it, but Target is definitely on the consistent trend. I'm damn glad for that for sure, man. I know you are as well. Oh, baby, indeed. We all are, man. Hopefully it continues for a long, long time. Let's hope, guys. But in the meantime, we've seen enough physical media goodness here at good old Target. How about we head out for more physical media love that's hopefully ahead? All right, everybody. We are at our third location, the second Walmart. I'm going to go in and check out if there's any interesting indie titles worth showing off. If there is, I'll bring it back to FilmFan 108 HQ and show it off to each and every one of you. But before I do that, I got to talk about a trailer with you guys. And look,
You know, some movies, or you want to know what? Fuck that. Some creators, directors, really need to just stop. And you're one of them, Rob. Son of a bitch. The Munsters. Oh. Okay, so I watched the trailer, like a lot of people watched the trailer, and I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to like this movie. I mean, I haven't seen the movie, so the trailer could be really cool, all things considered, but I highly frickin' doubt it, man. I really do, dude. I mean, you know, when the best thing about a trailer is literally the opening logo, that's not good, okay? Shit. All right. I mean, basically what the trailer is, straight off the bat, is basically all it is it's a origin story of the Munsters. Lily and Herman getting together and how they did it and the romance of it, all the hilarity, you name it. That's what this is, okay? And that's fine. That's okay. But the movie looks like shit, all right? It looks so cheap, man. And the effects look terrible. The audio is god-awful. The acting, oh my fucking Lord, dude. I mean, some people come out looking good, right? Daniel Roebuck playing Grandpa, I think for the most part, it works for me. I have no problem with it. Sherry Moon Zombie, holy fuck. Oh, okay, look, man. I'm not one of those people that is like, God, why is he casting his wife in everything he does? But yet I'm gonna go there. Why the fuck is he casting his wife in everything, man? Especially a lead role like Lily Munster. Why is he doing that, man? What impulse is that? Because the problem is in the movie, there's certain lines of dialogue that she has. Like, oh, I need a man that when he enters my crypt, it warms my cold black heart. And the way she says it, it just comes off as amateurish dinner theater. And I just don't understand why we couldn't get a actress to play it. A real actress who has actually been trained as an actress, that actually has experience, that can actually pull off this dialogue. Why? Why, man? I mean, if you want to cast your wife in this, that's fine. Put it in a smaller role, whatever. But don't have her be the lead. The lead, man. I mean, damn, dude. And the chick is like, what? She's 50? She's over 50? And this is supposed to be an origin story with her and Herman? What? I don't know, man. I don't know. It just, the casting doesn't sit right with me. Even the makeup effects don't really sit right. The way that Herman Munster looks, it doesn't look good. I mean, I don't know. Something about the design, I don't know. It doesn't come across like it should. It's off in some way. It's not, it doesn't look right to me, man. And the dialogue is cringeworthy here, and it just looks like just a very cheap and over-the-top way of doing the Munsters. Now, I know what you guys are going to say to me. You guys are going to say to me, well, the show was over the top. Anyways, and so were the movies. Here's the deal. If the show was ever meant to be campy, it wasn't campy in the way that this is. Basically, the show was aping off of 50s and 60s family sitcoms that were happening at that point in the era. And basically, they took that premise, sort of almost like a Leave It to Beaver, I Dream of Jeannie, something like that, and basically putting it as, you know, monsters and creatures just in a quirky, more fantastical setting, right? That's what it was really meant to be. This is not that. And I just don't think that Rob Zombie, I don't think he had a handle on this. I think he has a passion for the Munsters. If you end up really knowing anything about Rob Zombie, then you know that he is a huge, huge Munsters fan. I mean, if you know Dragula, okay, that is part of the Munsters. Look that up, okay? It was one of the vehicles that the Munsters had, all right? So he is a huge fan of it, and it feels like a lot of people who were involved in this movie are huge fans of the Munsters. Daniel Roebuck is, and actually Sherry Moon Zombie is a big fan of it. So you can see the passion that these people have, that they are fans of the franchise. And even Rob Zombie has done commentaries. He did one for Munsters Go Home. So he's a fan, he's a big fan, but just because you're a fan doesn't mean that you're good for this project. And it shows. I mean, damn, dude. I mean, the sets look incredibly cheap. The costumes look cheap. The makeup effects look cheap. The acting, I mean, some people, as I said, fare a little bit better, but others really miss the mark here. And I don't know, man, like, it's so weird because they're trying to put it in a modern day setting and still trying to pull off the Munsters vibe, but it just comes across as lazy and lifeless and chintzy. And man, it really feels like it pisses all over the legacy of the Munsters. And that's just a real goddamn shame, man, because there is certain movies out there that have taken the idea of modernizing, yet keeping it old school and nostalgic and working. You look at the Addams Family. The Addams Family perfected it. Hell, the Brady Bunch movie, okay? I mean, say what you will about the Brady Bunch, whether you like it or not, but the movie actually knew what it was fucking doing. The Brady Bunch is the same. It's not like they changed. The world around them changed, and I love the comedy that comes from that. And I wish that this movie would have maybe taken a few cues from that. I don't know, man. Like, I just think it looks really terrible. And, you know, a lot of people were reporting, oh, this movie cost $40 million. Look, Rob Zombie has come out and said, by the way, I don't know how anybody thought this thing cost $40 million, but not even goddamn close. I believe that. Like, when I look at this trailer, and hell, I even looked at the trailer for the release of the Blu-ray and DVD, and that has even more footage. And that is even more embarrassing. There is footage in that that looks really even worse. And I'm like, oh my God, dude. I mean, it doesn't matter what you do with this. It just looks bad, man. And this isn't even coming to movie theaters. It's going straight to Netflix in the fall. And at the end of September, it's coming on Blu-ray and DVD. So I don't know if they're coming out at the same day, but I have never seen anything like this. I have never seen a studio movie. I have never seen anything like this. A studio movie like this literally get not only released on Netflix, but it's not even getting released on Netflix like ahead of time, and then you get a Blu-ray and DVD release. Like, the Blu-ray and DVD release is literally coming out either on the same day or before the movie even premieres on Netflix. That is almost unheard of. I've almost never heard of that, man. Something big budget, like studio, the idea of a property like the Munsters doing this. I've never seen this before, man. This is odd to me. This is really odd, and it just looks like they just are trying to dump this and make whatever they can while they are able to and then get out the door, dude. That's what this is. Dude, look, I like Rob Zombie. I like House of a Thousand Corpses, Three from Hell, The Devil's Rejects. But, man, I wasn't a fan of 31. I wasn't a fan of Lords of Salem. And I just feel like he is really pissing away every single opportunity that he has, man. And, you know, if I was Rob Zombie, if somebody gave me the keys to the Munsters franchise and said, hey, make a Munsters movie, I would go to them and say, the only way I'm making a Munsters movie is if I can do it in the best way possible. I don't want to half-ass it. I don't want a lesser budget. I want something to actually work. I want to be able to be proud of what I'm going to put on the screen, because me as a Munsters fan, I want to be proud of this work, this franchise. I love this franchise. I want to treat those characters right. And unfortunately, all he saw was Munsters. All he saw was, hey, this is Munsters, and you can take over a Munsters movie. And that's all he saw. And yes, it's PG, but I don't know how Rob Zombie's going to fare in a PG world. I just think it looks amateurish. It looks cheap. And it just looks like it's a real shame to the Munsters franchise. Look, I will eat my words. 110%. I will eat my words. If the movie is good, I will eat my words in a big bad way, man. I will eat a shit sandwich, all right? But that being said, okay, look, trailers sometimes lie, but I got the vibe that this trailer ain't lying, man. No matter how you slice it, no matter how many trailers you put out, you're not polishing a turd, man. And this is one of those times where you know that what you're going to get in the trailer is what you're getting out of the movie. And if you don't like the trailer, most likely you ain't liking the movie, okay? At the end of the day, I'm not a huge Munsters fan, but I respect the Munsters. I respect the characters. I respect the legacy. And I just look at this movie, and unfortunately, Rob Zombie has passion for the Munsters, but he was saddled with so many things that was working against him. A low budget, and even things that were in his control that he could have avoided, like casting his wife. He still did. Okay? Rob Zombie, man, I'm going to tell you something. This movie might bury Rob Zombie's career. It might officially do it, man. And I like Rob, and I think Rob has a hell of a lot of potential as a filmmaker. And unfortunately, I think that if this film does not do well, if this film doesn't really bring in the masses to Netflix or on Blu-ray, DVD, then that's it for his film career, man. I would rather him do more in the world of The Devil's Rejects than do anything like this, man. Unfortunately, some filmmakers have a lot of really great potential, and others, unfortunately, are one-trick ponies. And it feels at this point like Rob Zombie is a one-trick pony. I want to be proven wrong, but something tells me that when I eventually watch the Munsters, it's not going to prove otherwise. I don't know, guys. Look, man. I mean, I'm just flabbergasted. I watched that fucking trailer, and I couldn't believe it, man. I couldn't believe how cheap it all looked. And I couldn't believe that, as much of a fan as Rob Zombie is, this is what he did. I don't know, man. I mean, a lot of people are still going to watch it. I'm going to watch it, but I'm going to watch it because I like Rob. And, man, even me liking Rob Zombie, this shit still isn't salvageable. Okay, I'm just saying. It's just not, man. This could be another one of those definitions of not being able to polish a turd. Oh, man. you know what? Somebody's gonna need to liven up my cold dead heart, especially after watching this goddamn trailer. But hey, we'll see what happens. Let me know what you think, guys. I mean, just as a fan of Munsters and everything like that, you've got to be concerned, even just a little bit. I mean, there is a lot of Rob Zombie apologists out there. There's a lot of people who, no matter what Rob Zombie does, they'll love everything that he does because they just want to love it all. I'm not one of those people, man. I go into each film very much as, hey, man, what do you got for me now? And if he doesn't deliver, I'm going to be honest with you guys. And this trailer, at least the trailer itself, doesn't deliver. Just saying. Let me know what you think, man. But honestly, let's just put it this way, man. Just go back into your crypt, man, because this shit ain't worth it. All right. Oh, man. The original Munsters are rolling in their fucking grave. And I can't quite say I'll blame them. Oh, shit. All right, man. Well, hopefully it turns out good, but are you really expecting it to? Who the hell knows? But that's the Munsters for you, for whatever it's worth. But hey, that's that. And the physical media is definitely on display this week. But what will the indie love have? Well, let's hope it's something worth it. How about we go in, check it out. All right, everybody, we are in at the good old second Walmart, baby, and this week's actually been surprisingly really good. Well, I shouldn't say surprisingly, because there's a lot of really great physical media love out there, but, well, I wasn't just thinking that Walmart was going to have as much as they actually did. And of course, Target came through, but what about the indie weirdness, the indie love, the indie oddities? What about that? We've got to have it, right? We've got the new release big event titles. We've got to have the smaller, weirder, bizarro shit. And honestly, you're damn right we do. Oh, yes, baby. The indie love is back yet again to surprise us and weird us and confuse us to God knows what end. Indeed it is, man. So, you know what we're going to do. We are heading back to Film Fan 108 Central, where you, Seth, yes, you get to show off all the indie oddities. Come on. You got to love it. Oh, my God. And who are you supposed to be?
I'm Dr. Strange, variant 108.
Doctor? Wait a minute. Why am I even calling you that in the first place? You're not a goddamn doctor.
Really? Are you sure about that?
Fine. I'll bite. What kind of doctor are you?
I'm a doctor of physical media.
Oh, really? What kind of bullshit is that?
Now wait just a second. You doubt the doctor's abilities, the doctor's powers?
Yeah, I do. Not only do I doubt the doctor's powers, but honestly, I think everything that's coming out of your mouth is full of shit.
Well, doubt the doctor's powers no longer. I will not have you challenging me anymore. I will have to wreak havoc on you. Dr. Strange style. What the hell is going on? Why isn't this working?
Look like you got something going on. I don't know. Maybe your powers aren't working that well, or maybe you're having performance anxiety. I hear that is quite the problem.
No, it's not performance issues. It's just not working right now. It's not the right moment. I don't have my mojo right now.
Just not working, huh? Boy, that's an excuse they all give. You know, there is a pill for that. Just saying. I mean, you should know, right? I mean, you're a doctor. You should write your own prescription. Shouldn't be that hard, would it?
Wait till I get my powers back. Wait till I get my mojo back. When I do, you haven't seen the last of Doctor Strange. Yeah, I can't wait for that day to happen, if it ever frickin' will.
You know what? Instead of trying to do a lame ass magic trick for me and failing absolutely epically like you normally do, how about you show off the physical media? Because I'm sure that's a performance that you can't screw up. And on top of that, you don't need a pill to improve yourself. And that might suit you a little bit better. Because honestly, well, there's a lot of things that you need a pill for. You got a lot of problems. And that one is at least something that you can do without it. Let's hope.
You may have won this time, my physical media adversary. But just you wait, because our match is not done yet. I will come back as the Sorcerer Supreme and rain hellfire down on your eternal soul. Just you wait. Oh, just you wait indeed. I'm not gonna need a pill for that shit, motherfucker. You bet your ass on that one. But until then, I suppose I need to gain my strength. I suppose I need to gain my powers back. And the only way to do that, the only proper way to gain the powers of the Sorcerer Supreme back is to show the physical media goodness. And the only way to do that is show the Walmart weirdness. That helps in the biggest, greatest way. The weirdness, the bizarreness, the ridiculousness. It helps the Doctor gain the powers he needs to battle the forces of physical media evil. So, with all of the wonderful physical media out there this week, well, there's one challenge left to behold, and that is a challenge that the Doctor is willing to partake. The fight has just begun with the indie oddities. Yes. The indie weirdness is back yet again to invade our lives. You know you love it. Oh, you do, especially with the Shudder Trio. Oh, the Shudder love is definitely on display. That can either be a good thing or a bad thing. But let's dive in with a little bit of creepy entities stalking kids in They Live in the Gray. Ooh, I love that. The innocent child and the creepy entity. Yeah, something tells me this doesn't end well. Not at all, man. Look at that. Very cool. Properly scary and thoughtfully constructed. Well, I'll be the judge of that. Indeed I will, man. Let's dive into this. While investigating a child abuse case, a clairvoyant social worker discovers that the family is being tormented by a supernatural entity. Oh, shit. Yeah, that complicates matters just a wee bit. It definitely does. In order to save the parents from losing custody of their child, she must confront her own fears and use her ability to stop the malevolent force. Yes. Her force versus the forces of evil. Social workers have to go through a lot of shit. Now they have to battle evil entities? Damn, man. I hope they get a bump in pay. I hope they get a bump in pay indeed, because, man, that's gotta qualify under hazard pay somehow, some way, man. Seriously. Oh, okay. Not bad, actually, of a story. I can kind of dig that, man. And let's be honest for a second, because children in danger is really the best type of horror. It really honestly is, because there's something about it that really just gets you on the edge of your seat, and you're already invested, because children are innocent. They're unknowing of the world, and to see them being tormented or stalked by some sort of creepy force or entity, there is that moment where you as a person are just, oh my god, what's gonna happen to the kid? Like, you are literally scared for the child, because that's just our sort of nature. That's how we are. We don't want children to be harmed. And in horror films, when that happens, that is really frightening. That is really scary, man. And there's a lot of really great examples of it. I mean, there's some really great stuff out there that really is great children in danger movies.
Whether we're talking about the Poltergeist stuff, which is really great, whether we're talking about movies like Pet Sematary, which are absolutely fantastic. I mean, you even go down and think of something like, for instance, The Conjuring, which is really amazing. Or you go to something like It Chapter 1, which is really phenomenal. So there are really great horror movies with kids in danger like Come Play that are absolutely fantastic and wonderful and just gets under your skin because you're just scared of what's going to happen next. You want them to be safe. You want them to survive, to everything be okay. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even something like Sinister, which, oh man, dude. God damn, man, that was some scary shit. Like, seriously, there are some really great children in terror and survival horror of just dealing with the elements and dealing with this really great and intimidating force that is coming at you. And there's something, again, there's the vulnerability aspect to it, I think, and the concept of innocence being lost. I think that's something that I really do tune into and something that I really am affected by. And so, Kids in Danger, man, when filmmakers do that, sometimes you have some really great, wonderful results. And then sometimes, you know, it feels kind of exploitative for the sake of exploitative sake. It feels, well, maybe the fact that they just did it because they've got nothing else, and maybe that one thing will save the movie. Sometimes it doesn't. What will They Live in the Gray actually be? One of the better ones, or one of the ones that kind of sour you on the concept? I don't know, man. I mean, I think the one thing that sort of makes it more interesting than anything else is the fact that the social worker here, and the fact that she's clairvoyant, and the fact that she's the one that's coming in and saving the family. It's not like the Warrens from the Conjuring universe. It's not these really great, you know, ghostly experts. And I think that's the one thing that I really appreciate about this, because it makes it, at least to me, feel a little bit more vulnerable. Not as like, wow, okay, well, we have the experts here and they're gonna solve the problem. Like, this woman has issues. She is somebody who has a fear of her abilities, but she really likes to help kids. And to see this woman struggle with the idea of facing her fears of her own powers and having to help a family at the same time, that can be a really effective story if done right. It just depends on if it's done right. That's all I'm saying, man. It has the creepy factor. It has the whole, like, entity going against kids thing. The innocence of children being attacked. It has all those interesting elements for a very solid stew. But again, does it actually pay off? Well, the cover definitely sells me. But then again, we've seen a lot of covers that are really good where the movies turn into absolute turkeys. How will They Live in the Gray turn out? Well, let's put it this way. Honestly, if the social worker doesn't solve the problem, don't come knocking at my door. I'm not a social worker. I certainly don't get paid for it. And as far as taking down ghostly entities, yeah, I'm gonna need to get paid a hell of a lot more money than I already am getting paid right now. Raise a little hell in Hellbender, yeah. Oh, look at this. And it looks like she's ready to raise some hell indeed. Whoa, look at that. Man, that's one pissed off chick. Coming of which family affair? Huh, you don't say. What is this about? Izzy leads an isolated life, tucked away from the world by her protective mother, who has convinced her she has a chronic illness. Well, I don't know, that could just be puberty. After sneaking into town, Izzy plays a cruel drinking game with a new friend that unleashes a deep-rooted taste for blood. Confused and scared, Izzy questions her mom, but mom's secrets are as old and dark as the bloodline from which they're born, and its grip is tight. Izzy's true nature can only sleep for so long, though, and when it wakes, it's hungry as hell. Oh, indeed it is. Oh, that is pretty cool, actually. That sounds actually pretty sweet. But I'm kind of curious.
is it really a witch? Or is it a vampire? Because she's got this unusual taste for blood, and I'm thinking to myself, do witches have that type of taste for blood? Not that I'm wanting to find out or anything. I'm just asking. Like, seriously, what the hell, man? Whoa. Jeez, regardless of whether it's a vampire or a witch, man, this chick is definitely going to be a menace to society. That's for damn sure. Whoa. Oh my god, man. This kind of has an interesting feel to me because, on one hand, it feels kind of like the bitch. Yeah, that kind of does, with the idea of this woman who is an unsuspecting member of this bloodline of witches that she knows nothing about, and the idea that, her powers are really coming into her own and the trouble that she can cause. And at the same time, there is a little bit of Carrie in here, isn't there? The idea of this mother that is very repressive and that she's not really trying to maybe advance her daughter to the stage where perhaps she's scared that she may go. Like, I like that idea of this mother who does not want to activate her quote unquote powers, at the same time a woman that is coming into her own. It has a little bit of themes of puberty and maturity and growing up, and the idea of your power as a woman, so to speak. Like, yeah, it kind of has that, doesn't it? Very interesting indeed. And I gotta admit, man, you know, I love these type of stories, these witch stories. And I say that because the way society works nowadays. Now, we are so far away from the Salem witch trials, all right? Hey, I ain't wanting to go back to those days. Drowning people, setting them on fire, yeah. Uh, you know, kind of savage, all right? It kind of is. But at the same time, in modern society, if people express the fact that maybe they have these powers or people suspect them of having these, well, we don't set them on fire anymore. We just put them in an insane asylum. All right, we really do. We basically ended up just taking one form of torture and changing it into another. And dude, it's interesting the way society works nowadays, and how, yes, modern medicine and, modern medical technology has changed us from the savages that we used to be, but how much has it really done that? And I like the idea of seeing it through this modern day eye, and seeing this woman who knows how society is and trying to repress her daughter. Like, I enjoy those type of stories. I think that's kind of interesting. I mean, I do like witch movies. Of course, The Witch is always great. Of course, I love Carrie. Not really a witch movie, but with her powers, you could make an argument for it. I mean, I love those type of movies. I mean, then again, I'm somebody that does like, a good little witch yarn from time to time. I mean, then again, I'm somebody that's a little bit more comedic, probably more than some people might think. I mean, not gonna lie, I do love a good horror flick from time to time. But then again, I love my hocus pocus. Oh, I do. Yeah, okay, it's not the most serious thing in the world, but it's fun. It really screams fall. I love the witches here, and for me, I just think it's a really great classic fun tale. Yeah, a little goofy, but yeah, that's how I like my witches. I really do, man. I mean, I do love those type of movies, fun, entertaining. But then again, hey, you can either go with The Witch or you can go with Hocus Pocus. Two very different ones, but some badass witches. Indeed, we do, man. But what about Hellbender? Is Hellbender going to be the next great witch horror experience? It could be, possibly, if done right, man. I mean, it feels like it's taking from certain films and sort of a hodgepodge of certain ideas that have already been done, but try to spin it in its own unique way. That's never a bad thing, but unfortunately, with horror, a lot of things have been done already. I mean, it truly has. And at a certain point, really what a lot of these horror films are doing at this point is just basically regurgitating the same ideas over and over again, just in a different package. And whether it's successful is really how the creative team, the director, the actors, the writers, are able to spin it into something slightly unique and outside of what you've seen before. Hellbender is an interesting idea. I like the idea of this girl, the innocence of her wanting to break free, but yet seeing the potential of the horror that she's capable of. I like that idea. Will it be done successfully? Well, that's up to Hellbender. But let's put it this way. I've had a lot of encounters with a lot of chicks over the years. Nothing like this, but then again, if I did, something tells me I'd kind of be into it. Who wants to play a game of Slapface? I do. Just don't really hit me that hard, will ya? Yeah, I'm kind of sensitive. In Slapface, where do monsters come from? Oh, yeah. Oh, man, where do they come from, indeed? Perhaps in your own mind, in your own psyche. Perhaps from the trauma. Oh, there's a hell of a lot of ways monsters can come from. Even inside your own self. Oh, indeed it is, man. Now, I got a chance to watch Slapface on Amazon Prime, and I did because out of the three of these, this was the one that I think intrigued me the most. I loved the cover the most, and I thought to myself, I like the idea of this movie. The idea of this little boy and his older brother, their mother ended up dying, passing away. The father was incredibly abusive, and they are now on their own. And the little boy is kind of a troublemaker now. The older one is trying to keep things together, but he's not exactly the most knowledgeable about how to do it. And the way he goes about it is actually really abusive. And in some ways, he's just as immature as the little kid is. And the idea that this kid doesn't really have any friends, anybody around him to really influence him in a positive manner. Even the girls are beating the shit out of him. Okay? Yeah, man. He really don't got no game, man, at all. And basically, he ends up going into this really abandoned, creepy building, and he sees this monster, this creepy, tall motherfucker. And at first, he thinks that the monster is attacking him. But actually, the monster is in some ways trying to make friends with him, and he ends up befriending the monster. The monster ends up escaping the building, and suddenly there's this friendship with the monster, but yet the monster is attacking people that he loves. The kid is getting in trouble for what the monster has done to people, but it's of the kid's own doing because he's the one that unleashed the monster in the first place. And it's the complications between him and the brother, him and the monster, and at the end of the day, who's really to blame for the trauma and destruction in your life? The trauma that you build onto yourself. Is the monster inside of you? Ooh, yes, indeed, man. Now, I gotta admit, I really did enjoy this movie. A little slow going, yes, but I was alright with that. It was developing really well. I enjoyed it for what it was. I gotta admit, the monster is really cool. You don't really get a lot of the monster. You get enough of the monster to keep you satisfied. But the monster, for the most part, is in shadow. You see a little bit of moments where you see the face, but not really. It's covered a lot more in darkness. It looks really foreboding, really creepy, really huge and imposing. And I really love that. You don't get to see so much of the monster that it becomes ineffective, but you see just enough where it keeps you intrigued and fascinated by what this thing actually is. And there's really no major explanation about the monster. There is no reveal of the monster's origin. The monster is just there with the little boy, but I love the idea that the monster is not this sort of talking, creepy creature entity. It more is almost like an animal.
it has animalistic tendencies. And the idea that it befriends this boy under the assumption that this boy is treating it not like a foreign invader or something like that. It's treating it like an actual being. And in some ways, you can only imagine that the monster and the creature probably has never really felt that kind of love or acceptance before. And so he sort of takes the boy under his wing, but anybody who is attacking the boy, anybody who is going against the boy, this monster, this creature sees as a threat and goes after them. And I like that, man. It's really great. I love just the design of the monster, and I love how they ended up really including the monster in the story and making the monster an allegory on the abuse that this kid is dealing with. Because honestly, at every single turn, this kid has had a rough life. You know, he's had abusive parents. He's had moments of sadness. He has a brother that unfortunately is not really all that interested in trying to raise him the right way or care for him in a parent type of manner. He's just there to try to put money in his pocket, food on the table, and smack him around a little bit to try to teach him a lesson or two. But is that ultimately the right way? And when you do that, you do go to your deepest, darkest fantasies, your deepest, darkest realms, and you end up befriending people that perhaps, had you been brought up the better way, you would never have done. And I like that type of messaging. I like that aspect to it. And I like the kid. I think the kid is very sympathetic. I really love how he comes across as scared and timid, but yet try to be tough at the same time. I love that. The only person who kind of comes off in a rough spot is the brother. And at some point, the brother does seem sympathetic, but yet when he's slapping the kid around, when he's basically dismissing the kid at every single turn and basically humiliating him and ridiculing him, at a certain point, I didn't feel any sympathy for the brother. I just wanted the brother to fucking die, dude. I mean, seriously, I'm like, dude, you are old enough where you should know better. And the fact that you're still treating this kid like a piece of trash, I mean, you care for him clearly, but at the same time, you don't really act like it. Man, grow a fucking pair, bro. I mean, seriously. But at the same time, this brother is frustrated by his big bro, but yet when the creature is going after him, I think there's a sense of, look, this is the only family that I have left. And he may not be the best family, but he's still mine. And you attacking him is not the right way to go about it. But yet, you've unleashed the monster. You've unleashed the terror inside of you. And when it's pushed too far, this is where it goes. And I love the idea of really taking that messaging of abuse and turning it into this fantasy horror monster story. I actually thought it was really effective, really interesting. I really love it. And to me, there's a lot of really great movies out there that really express the idea of abuse in its many forms. Like Audition, yes. This really demented chick has probably dealt with some really abusive and controlling men from time to time. Even when a good one comes along, yeah, she still can't trust the motherfucker. She definitely can, man. Even something like The Slayer. If you've never seen The Slayer before, it's a very interesting movie about this woman really dealing with her past and the trauma that she dealt with and this sort of demonic entity that may or may not be real, or is it all in her nightmare? It's a very interesting movie that I really, really enjoy, really like. Solid little unknown flick that I really dig. That is a fantastic one that I really love. And of course, when you're talking about abuse, you kind of have to at least include, well, in my mind, at least a little bit of Charlie Sheen. In The Boys Next Door. Oh man, this is a really great movie about the idea that these two young people who are really causing chaos within the streets and really abusive to minorities and women and you name it. Just a demented movie, very chaotic, and it really goes to show that the youth, if not really nurtured properly, can really become very dangerous and sickening. Really, really great stuff, man. Really love this one indeed. Hell, I even need to include a little bit of 976 Evil, yes. Revenge is on the line. I really love this movie about this guy, young kid, who has been abused and ridiculed and put down. And the idea that he phones into this hotline to get advice and how it's slowly manipulating him and basically turning him into this evil entity. So fantastic. Love this. Stephen Jeffries kills it, man. The only movie that Robert Englund ever directed. Crazy enough, man. So fucking good, dude. Really fantastic. So there are some movies that definitely express abuse in its many, many forms. And there are many, many ones out there. Even some really great stuff that I love from Stephen King that has really done a really great job talking about that. Movies like Stand By Me. So there is some really great movies out there that really express it in its many forms, and yet add another with Slapface, man. Truly, the movie surprised me, and I wasn't expecting it to be as good as it actually was. Look, it takes a lot of moments from other movies and really spins it into its own yarn, but I like how they did it, man. I really do. I thought it was brilliantly well done. I thought the acting was fantastic. I really like the creation of the monster, and I like how it really symbolizes the abuse and the torture that this kid has gone through. And I think it's really well done. I don't think it's perfect. I really don't like the ending. I think it's a little messy, not explained very well, and at the end of the day, nothing is really resolved. In fact, it's probably even worse. Like, the kid is probably going to prison. Like, it's really bad. I'm like, oh my god, this kid is pretty much like screwed. All right, I mean, my god, man, the prison system is gonna eat him alive, bro. Like, whoa, that's some crazy shit, man. But that being said, when you unleash the beast, well, there are consequences to it, and this kid definitely finds out, man. Really well done, and crazy enough, it's kind of interesting because this creature monster, the director actually did this short film back in, I think, like 2017 or 2018 or something, and I guess the creature monster was a part of that, and so he ended up taking that and putting it into this story, which I think is actually really brilliant. It's honestly a really solid flick, man. I can't say that all Shudder movies are. I really honestly can't, man. I mean, there's some great Shudder movies out there that I've really loved, that I thought were brilliant. And there are a decent amount of Shudder films that, frankly, I'm not gonna lie, man, are flat out turds, dude. I mean, they really are. But when one surprises me, it really does, and Slapface isn't half bad. Going with checked expectations, it's not the most perfect horror flick of all time, but kids in danger, creepy monsters, and an allegory for trauma, it's a recipe for success, and Slapface definitely proves that. Not half bad, man. Where do monsters come from? Well, just look inside yourself, and you'll definitely see. Oh, you will indeed, man. Not half bad at all. Not half bad for the Walmart indie Shudder love, man. Not half bad at all. The horror is on display this week in its many, many forms. The social worker helping out the crazy parents? Yeah, that is a novel concept. Oh, yes. Being a witch can be a true bitch. This doctor ought to know. And your only friend is an inhuman monster. Well, you're either making up an imaginary friend, or the more likely of the scenario is you're playing with One-Eyed Willie. Which, by the way, the doctor definitely approves. Just, the recommendation is take a break or two. You'll wear yourself out pretty fast. I ought to know. Indeed I do. But for your sake, let's hope it's just the imaginary friend.
I highly doubt it. Oh, I highly doubt it indeed, man. But hey, that's what you get when you're dealing with the Walmart weirdness. Oh, that's definitely damn right. You know that one for sure, baby. Oh, and the doctor definitely recommends it. It's good for the soul. Maybe. Doubtful. But hey, any Walmart weirdness is always good because it's physical media love, baby, and that's something that definitely the doctor can recommend for all you physical media fiends out there, myself included. Oh, yes, indeed. But that can't be all. There's got to be a little bit more of the physical media goodness out there. We've got to go find it. So let's go to one more location. In the meantime, I'll be here perfecting my strange skills. Beware, when you see the doctor next, he could be coming to your place, your hometown. And when we do, we will battle for physical media supremacy.
All right, everybody, we are at our fourth final location, and physical media love is everywhere. Well, I ought to wish it was at sometimes, but this week we are seeing physical media at all the places. And hey, speaking of retail places, why not a bookstore while we're at it, huh? Why not indeed, baby, when we go to none other than, oh yes, Barnes and Nobles, baby. We are back yet again at good old B&N, and I can't wait to see what they have. Maybe not all the new release love this week, but hoping for a few goodies that, oh, well, I'm kind of hoping they have, man, because if they don't, that'd be insane. I don't know exactly what they have, but how about we go in and check it all out?
All right, everybody, we are in a good old B&N. But is there any new release physical media? Go over checking out at the good old bookstore. You damn right there is. With a little bit of Sandra Bullock action, you know you want it. Yeah, right. In the Lost City, baby, the Blu-ray digital for $35, man. You know, look, I like Sandra, I really do. Maybe not that much. Well, certain movies, yes. This one, not so much, man. And look, there has been many movies that have tried to ape off of the action, adventure, romantic genre, right? It's a mashup that has happened a time or two, right? I mean, come on, Romancing the Stone is one of the best highlights of them. I mean, Michael Douglas and Kathleen Turner, Danny motherfucking DeVito. It's so good. It's so great, man. That is one of the best. I love that movie so much, man. That is absolutely fantastic. Of course, I've got to talk about another really great iconic one, Crocodile Dundee, man. Paul Hogan. It's really good, man. Paul Hogan is fantastic. He's got great charm and personality, and he's just sort of a badass that the chicks couldn't really deny, man, especially with the Australian accent. Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out that whole hot Australian accent thing. Maybe one day I'll get it. I doubt it. Oh, I doubt it indeed, man. But Paul Hogan had it going on for days, man. He was so good, and it's just a fun film. I just love the whole fish out of water aspect of this guy from the Australian outback coming to the big city. It's just kind of unique and interesting to me, but still has that great adventure aspect to it. I love it. I thought it was fucking phenomenal, man. Really great, man. Think it's way better than it probably had any right to be, but then again, I mean, you can say that about a lot of films, let's put it that way, man. I mean, those are all really great. I've also got to say 6 Days and 7 Nights, yes, with Harrison Ford and Anne Heche. I mean, I've talked about that movie a time or two anyways, but I remember watching that movie in the theater with my mom, and I really loved it. Actually, that movie, I think, is highly underrated. Not many people really talk about that movie. I mean, mind you, the whole Anne Heche lesbian thing, no wonder she was into Harrison Ford. Oh, no. Yeah, man. I mean, I thought the chemistry between both of them was really good. I like the adventure aspect. I thought it was fun, incredibly entertaining. It is really solid of one that no one really ever talks about.
And I mean, there are ones out there that maybe don't have the whole like jungle theme exactly. I mean, yes, there's Jungle Cruise, but how many people are going to be remembering that shit? I mean, seriously, not many, dude. Not much. Other than like The Rock's muscles, what did you really get out of that goddamn thing? I mean, let's be real, man. I mean, yeah, that too, but I mean, there's other ones that I think are just as fun and entertaining that might not have the jungle aspect to it, but are still pretty good. Like, for instance, Night and Day with Tom Cruise and Cameron Diaz. Now, I know what you guys are thinking. You're like, oh, come on, man. Really? You're going to be talking about that shit? And I'm like, well, honestly, yeah. It's a really, really good movie, man. I know that a lot of people didn't like it because they thought it was too predictable or gimmicky. I always really thought it was not that bad, man. I like the chemistry between Diaz and Cruise. As I've said so many times, Tom Cruise has charm for days on end, man. He really does, and he has a lot of it in that film. I mean, even when everything is going crazy and nutso, he still has a cool head about him and still able to, like, get those one-liners in and look all cool and badass. It ain't half bad, man. I thought that was actually pretty good for what it's worth. I mean, again, it doesn't hold up to something like Romancing the Stone or 6 Days or 7 Nights, in my opinion, but it's still pretty good. Hell, I'll even say Fool's Gold, man. You remember that one? Matthew McConaughey and Kate Hudson. Yeah, if you're into the whole, like, you know, shirtless Matthew McConaughey phase. Oh man, yeah, that whole like romanticism, adventure stuff that he was doing and taking his shirt off constantly. I'm so glad that he ended up maturing. I really am indeed, dude. It's not really a great one, but there is some cool adventure aspects, and Ray Winstone as the rival treasure hunter is actually pretty cool too, so I'll give it that much. It ain't great, but I guess if you're into the whole, like, muscly Matthew McConaughey nude thing, sure, why not? I mean, you know, he is good with the bongos, I'll give him that much. I will, man. It's alright. But to me, one of the best of them all is The African Queen. Oh my god, The African Queen is so great. And actually one that not many people really even talk about. Katharine Hepburn and Humphrey Bogart. That is a really great adventure romance movie that is just really just wonderful in that great sort of classic Hollywood way. I love that movie so much. The acting between the two and the chemistry, man, I mean, those are really great, like, class A actors that really brought their A game and their chemistry together, and it works in spades. Yes, not as adventurous as the stuff you get nowadays, but I dare you to watch that and say to me that the acting isn't amazing and the story really just involves you in a big bad way, man. I really love that movie so much, and to me, it's really one of the best out there. I mean, to me, Romancing the Stone will always probably be the best, but African Queen is up there, and so is 6 Days and 7 Nights. Amazing stuff. But can The Lost City really ever equal any of them? Honestly, no. I mean, they're trying. They really honestly are, man. They're trying like a motherfucker. I mean, they truly are, dude. But there's just no chemistry between Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum. And Channing, for the most part, just comes off as a complete and utter stupid idiot that has maybe a couple of, like, moments where he gets to show off muscles and maybe a little bit of comedy, but there's not much to his character. He's a lunkhead, man. I mean, Daniel Radcliffe has really given it his all, but even he can't save this goddamn thing. I mean, gorgeous locations, yeah, but the action is just not very exciting, and the characters are kind of just your average predictable thing. You know where everything is headed here. You know what's going to happen with the characters. There's no mystery. There's no intrigue. It's just kind of humdrum, and it's unfortunate, man. You know, I like a good romantic jungle comedy. Hell, I've just named a few of them for you. But honestly, Lost City is going to get lost in the jungle because, honestly, truth be told, it can't compete with its brethren, and it's just not that interesting. Shame, but it really honestly is the truth. I mean, you do get some deleted scenes, bloopers, you get some good featurettes, but honestly, if you're going to be watching this, you're going to be watching this for Sandra Bullock. honestly, you could watch a hell of a lot better things out there. You don't really need to waste your time with this. Rewatch African Queen. Rewatch Romancing the Stone. Hell, rewatch the sequel to Romancing the Stone. Not as good, but shit, a hell of a lot better than this piece of shit.
Well, a little bit of indie love? Wasn't expecting that here at good old B&M, baby, but damn glad to see it in The Duke, a priceless true story. Oh, I have not heard of this movie. I'm kind of curious as to what this is, man. What is this about? The Duke is set in 1961 when Kempton Bunton, what a great name, a 60-year-old taxi driver stole Goya's portrait of the Duke of Wellington from the National Gallery in London. Whoa, really? It was the first and remains the only theft in the gallery's history. Kempton sent ransom notes saying that he would return the painting on condition that the government agreed to provide television for free to the elderly. What? What happened next became the stuff of legend. Only 50 years later did the full story emerge, a startling revelation of how a good man set out to change the world and in so doing saved his son and his marriage. Whoa, that sounds really great, man. Wow. Actually, that sounds like a really charming movie that's got some really hilarious moments. I gotta check this out, I think, man. And the fact it's got Jim Broadbent in it. Dude, I love Jim Broadbent. I mean, he is such a great old school actor, man. I've loved him in so many projects. I think the first thing I ever saw him in was Bullets Over Broadway in like the mid-90s, man, that Woody Allen flick. That's my favorite Woody Allen film of all time. I think he's hilarious in that. I've loved him in The Borrowers. He was really great with John Goodman. Love that movie. I love him in The Avengers. No, not that Avengers, guys. Come on. No, the one with Uma Thurman and Ray Fiennes, man. Yeah, the one with Sean Connery in a kilt, yeah. Not many people remember it, but I liked it for what it was, man. Cheesy, ridiculous, but it was okay. I liked him in that, man. I mean, most people would know him from Harry Potter, Deathly Hallows Part 2, I think he was in, man. He was really good in that as well, but I think my favorite role he's ever done, still, bar none, great, no doubt about it, will never be beat in Moulin Rouge. Oh yes, oh my god, yeah, he was like the host of the whole like burlesque dancing scene, man. He was so good in that movie, man, so over the top and ridiculous. Dude, I love him in that movie, man. He was going all out in the best way possible, dude. He was living it up, and I love that shit, dude. He's a great actor, man. I mean, he's funny when he needs to be, he's dramatic, he's got some good charm and likable personality. He's really great. I can only imagine he is great in this movie, dude, because you've got to be. If you're going to be a guy that's going to be stealing a painting, but yet have a sympathetic edge to you, you need somebody that's going to pull that off, and Jim Broadbent is exactly the person to do that. Dude, this is kind of cool, actually. I might have to end up giving this a watch, man, just for Jim Broadbent alone, but the story looks really cool. If you guys know anything about this, definitely let me know. This looks really, really great, actually. I like this, man. Just the story alone. He did it just to give free TV to the elderly. There's something really great about that, man. And wacko, but so fun. Oh, that's cool, dude. And I definitely gotta check this one out, man. That looks really interesting. Not bad on that, but they have one interesting thing, and yet on to the next with The Gilded Age. New money, old rules. Oh, yes. Oh, nice. Ooh, an HBO original series at that. Not bad. Christine Baranski. Nice. Oh, man. She's a great actress. I like her, man. What is this about? Ooh, from Julian Fellows? You mean Downton Abbey, Julian Fellows? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's got to be good already, baby. Because it's probably HBO drama centered on the conflict between old and new money in New York's glittering high society during the late 19th century, in a time of immense economic change where fortunes are amassed and lost in the blink of an eye. Miriam Brooke, the orphan daughter of a Union general, moves to Manhattan and becomes entangled in the social war between her aristocratic aunts. Oh, Cynthia Nixon is in this as well? Holy shit. Created a world on the brink of the modern age. Oh, nice. Oh my god, man, I haven't seen Cynthia Nixon in something in a long ass time. Whoa. Man, her and Christine Baranski?
It's great. Oh, Christine Baranski, man, I loved her in Addams Family Values. Do you remember when she was in that? She played, I think, one of the camp counselors, wasn't it? Oh my God, man, she was so good in that movie. And she's done a lot of really great TV series and other movies. I was really liked her in Mamma Mia as well. I thought she was really good in that, man. She's a great working actress. She does a lot of really great work. Underrated, but really solid, man. This looks kind of interesting. And if it's from Julian Fellows, I mean, Downton Abbey. Yes. If it's from him, it's gotta be at least worth a watch because Downton Abbey is the shit, man. So, I mean, if he's involved, it might be worth a watch, man. I do have HBO Max, so maybe indeed, man. I mean, it's gotta be really great acting, probably a really engaging story, and some good, funny, heartwarming, lighthearted moments. Might have to give that a look, man. HBO, dude, man, when they do a really great show, they really do. Sometimes they throw spaghetti at the wall ever so often, but something tells me this is not one of those times. It's actually something that's really well executed, really well acted, and hey, if Julian Fellows is involved, it might be worth my time. Ooh, it might be indeed. And with all those special features as well, not bad, man. If you know anything about this, let me know. Good, bad, hey, it's got Cynthia Nixon from Sex and the City in it. That alone gets me going, baby. Oh, indeed it does, man. Not bad. Nice. A little bit of indie and HBO love, too, on top of that. Not half bad, man. I mean, we've got some of these wonderful releases. We've got a little bit of Sandra Bullock hilarity, I suppose. But what about the main thing? What about Mr. Strange? I don't know. I literally see it nowhere. Come on. They can't not have Dr. Strangelove, right? Right? Ooh, man. I was getting worried for just a wee second there. You tried to hide on me, damn it. Among all the physical media, you stand out like a sore thumb, baby, because you're Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. The Blu-ray digital for, wow, $36. Well, let's be honest, the Doctor's worth it. Oh, at least he makes house calls. Well, to your home, baby. The physical media home, baby. Oh, yes, indeed, man. Oh, man. So, I guess the question to ask now is, where will Doctor Strange go next within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? Well, the end of the movie, and I won't really give it away exactly, but perhaps maybe he's going a little bit darker. Perhaps maybe he might be challenged and fall in love. Ooh, there's a lot of possibilities for Mr. Strange out there. But what about the overall MCU story? And I do really love the fact that throughout the recent Marvel movies, Doctor Strange has played a part, whether it's been a little bit here in a Thor movie or in Spider-Man No Way Home. I really love what they've done, really putting this very integral character within moments within the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the world, even if it's not in his own films. And I love the fact that Benedict Cumberbatch has been game to do that, man. And I just love that character even more because of it. And going forward, if you really think about it, because, look, Comic-Con has just finished, okay? And there was so much Marvel news out there. They were talking about Phase 5. Hell, they were talking a little bit about Phase 6. Avengers movies, the Kang Dynasty, Secret Wars, and you're gonna need Strange on your side if you're gonna get through those and the bad guys lose and the good guys win. You know what I'm saying? And so I really have a feeling that he has a huge part to play. And think about this even more, though, guys, is the fact that, look, Iron Man, rest in peace, Tony Stark, right? Captain America has one foot in the grave. He's pretty much gone. Hulk is non-factor. Black Widow is gone. Thor is off doing his own adventures at this point. And a lot of the other ones are just sort of either in retirement mode or, you know, hey, let's give the newer people a chance to shine, right? You even look at somebody like Captain Marvel. She's off doing her own type of adventures in outer space. She really doesn't have all that much time to dive completely into Earth's woes and worries. So who's going to lead the team? I do think that Doctor Strange is going to be the one that's really going to step up to the plate and lead the Avengers team going forward. Some people have mentioned maybe it could be somebody like the new Black Panther that could do it, potentially. Maybe Thor coming back and leading the team again, potentially. New Captain America, Sam Wilson. Perhaps. Those are all interesting thoughts, but I do feel the veteran of the group is Doctor Strange. This guy is somebody that is a strategist. This guy is somebody who has experience fighting cosmic bad guys. You want him on your side in a big bad way, and I would love nothing better for him to lead the team going forward, man. I mean, look, as much as I love Spider-Man, and I love Spider-Man, he's not a leader in that way. You're never gonna have a type of personality like Iron Man again, or like Captain America. Those leaders, defining leaders that take charge. But Doctor Strange is one that you could count on, and I sort of feel like he's the one to step up to the plate. I think even Kevin Feige might have even hinted at that in like an interview or something, but I would love to see another Doctor Strange movie. I'd love to see another Doctor Strange adventure, and I would love to see him going forward and playing a very integral part in the next Avengers movies. I think whatever is going to happen within this next phase or two, I really do have a feeling that Doctor Strange is going to be a huge, and I mean a mega part of it. It is called the Multiverse Saga. What is this movie called, folks? The Multiverse of Madness. So it only stands to reason that if you're going to have somebody heavily involved in this stage of the game, it would be Doctor Strange. Now, I know Benedict Cumberbatch has said, hey, look, I'm going to take some time for myself. I'm going to take some time off and just breathe a little, relax. He's a hardworking dude. He has been doing some amazing work as of late, including the Doctor Strange stuff and the cameos he's had in other movies. So he deserves a little bit of a break, a little bit of time to just chillax. I get it. I understand it, man. But I have a feeling that Kevin Feige has a huge arc for Doctor Strange coming up, man. Absolutely. And I do feel like this movie sets a lot of that up. Diving into the multiverse, introducing America Chavez, and establishing the idea of the Book of Ashanti, and perhaps the Dark Book as well, which has affected him also. I mean, there's a lot of things in here, because I think a lot of people left this movie thinking to themselves, well, there's no consequences in this movie. I don't think anything in this movie is really going to carry forward, but you know what? I disagree with you guys. I really do think going forward, this storyline, this Doctor Strange has been challenged in really unique ways in this movie, and those experiences are going to carry on to the next phase going forward. I am very curious to see where this all goes. I mean, they're doing so much with just the character of Wong alone. I mean, whether him showing up in Shang-Chi or even the upcoming She-Hulk series, I mean, they are really setting up these characters and the Sorcerer Supreme realm in a really unique and interesting way. And I feel like these next couple phases going forward, you are really going to see it develop and really see it front and center. That's just my opinion. Maybe you guys think differently, but look, man, when you're dealing with the multiverse, when you're dealing with different realms and cosmic bad guys, who do you really want on your side? You want the good doctor, baby. You indeed do, man. And I just love this character. Probably now he's in easily my top 5 favorite MCU heroes of all time. He's just that great. The personality is awesome, and I love the way Benedict Cumberbatch plays this character, man. And I hope that he has a huge, bright future ahead of him, because, man, I can't wait to see the next adventures with the good doctor involved. I absolutely do, man. But you gotta let me know, what do you think? Where do you think the journey of Doctor Strange will go in the MCU? Good, bad, indifferent? Where do you think the Multiverse Saga will take him next? Definitely let me know, baby. Well, there's a lot of great special features here. You get commentary, deleted scenes, gag reel, a bunch of featurettes, constructing the multiverse. Oh, great. Dude, I really dug this movie, man. I know that it's not going to be everybody's favorite MCU movie, and it's not even really my favorite, to be fair. I mean, if I were to pick between this movie or the first Doctor Strange, that's tough, man. I think I like the first Doctor Strange movie a bit better than the sequel, but that being said, man, this movie was so amazing and it came out of nowhere. There was a certain amount of, I don't want to say expectation necessarily, but people really loved that character and people were really hyped for the next adventure. So maybe they felt a little bit let down by it, but if you take away all of the hype, I think you come across with a movie that is really exciting, really unique, bizarre, with a interesting, weird bend to it that I just love and am intrigued by, man. I love this so much. I love Doctor Strange, and it's just a great adventure that I'm definitely going to enjoy over and over again. Definitely one of the highlights of Phase 4, in my honest opinion. And let's hope there's more adventures with the good doctor ahead. Oh, hopefully there is, man. Not bad. I knew they had to have Doctor Strange love. How could they not, man? Seriously. Oh, man. Not half bad. Definitely a lot of physical media love that B&N always carries, and the new release love included. Always dig it. Let's head out. Well, what a surprise for good old Barnes & Noble, isn't it? I mean, we got the new release love, we've got some indie love, and a little bit of multiverse madness over that way. Oh, not bad actually, man. A little bit of a surprise, dare I say. Not a huge release week as far as Barnes & Noble is considered. I mean, nothing Criterion-wise, even though the 50% sale is in its final few days. But nothing Criterion-worthy new release-wise worth talking about, but just enough new release gold that Barnes & Noble's decided to bring it in and definitely grace us with its presence. Indeed, man, and I'm very happy and thankful for that indeed, man. Not bad at all, man. I hope you enjoyed it, because I definitely do. Always, baby. Oh, indeed, man. Barnes & Noble's, man, the new release love, physical media goodness. I mean, yes, the prices are a little bit ridiculous. Yes, sometimes they don't have everything you want, but goddamn, man, you gotta give them credit, because sometimes you go into retail stores and physical media is just not as plentiful as you would like it to be, and then you come into this place and you're reminded how great physical media can truly be when you bring in the shit. And Barnes & Noble proves it in a big bad way, and that definitely gets my respect, and I know it gets yours. Not bad at all, man. For good old Barnes & Noble this week, I'll definitely take it. I know you will as well. But how about we head home and finish the video? Alright, everybody. That'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD out and about video this week. And man, it actually turned out pretty damn good, all things considered, man. We had a lot of physical media release love, no matter where we went. Surprise, surprise, Walmart. And you know what? It was nice to see a little bit of variety here, something different we didn't see over at this place, and vice versa, man. You don't always get that. Sometimes week to week, I hate to say it, but you see the same shit at all the places. Not that I have a problem with it, because it's still physical media love regardless, but sometimes variety is definitely the spice of life, and this week definitely proved it indeed, man. Definitely in a big bad way. Some really great stuff out there. Then again, some not so much. But hey, it's up to you what you guys get. Hopefully you picked up something good. If you did, definitely let me know. As far as I'm concerned, well, I got a few things. Yes, indeed I did, man. Now, the first thing, I actually picked up at Barnes & Noble's. Yes, I actually picked up something there. And you're thinking to yourself, what did you pick up? Did you pick up Criterion love? No. Even though there's things that I'm definitely still thinking about getting, I can always save them till the next sale. You know, always something to get. Always something to look forward to. No, didn't get anything through the Criterion sales. Well, did I get some of that indie love that I showed off? No, not exactly.
I ended up picking up something that I've been wanting to pick up for a long while, and I saw it at Barnes & Noble's, and man, kind of too hard to resist. I had to get this. I do love the movie, and it's been a while, and I ought to get it by now, considering I actually like the movie, and that is none other than Licorice Pizza. Oh, yes, man. Finally picking up this bad boy. Now, okay. You're thinking to yourself, geez, why get it at Barnes & Noble's? Well, here's the deal, right? When I talked about the movie in one of the Out and Abouts before, really loved the movie. I really dug it. But I was always looking for the Blu-ray. And a lot of these retail stores now, whether it's Target or Best Buy, Walmart, you name it, they're not carrying this fucking movie for some odd reason. If they are, it's just the DVD, and I did really want the Blu-ray. And so I could barely find it. And even if I did find it, the slipcover was so fucking gnarly and messed up that I'm like, well, shit, man. I do really like my slips. Why are they so fucking messed up and tattered and torn? I'm like, God damn, dude. So I actually, for the longest time, gave up hope of ever buying the movie. I'm like, well, maybe in the future, God knows when, maybe I'll pick it up, but I have no hope for that. Walk into Barnes & Noble's, and I'm looking at the physical media, and I see Licorice Pizza, and I'm like, Barnes & Noble's has a copy? And I'm like, okay. And I'm looking and at the slip, and I'm like, the slip is in really tasty condition. I'm like, oh, it looks good. And I'm like, oh, shit. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, the Barnes & Noble's prices, but they took 30% off. And so at the end of the day, it was like $26 and change that I paid for it. But honestly, I have a feeling I'm not really going to find this out in the retail stores ever again. And honestly, if I do, the slipcover is going to be beaten to shit. So honestly, this was like my one best opportunity to get it. And you bet your ass I was going to do it. Oh, absolutely, man. Not bad. The artwork here, and actually what's kind of cool is that the artwork on the inside is kind of similar, but slightly altered. And I kind of like that, man. A little bit of surprise on the inside, which I definitely dig. Dude, let me tell you something. I had to pick this up because this is officially my second favorite Paul Thomas Anderson movie. My first will always be Boogie Nights. I mean, come on, man. That's like a no-brainer, okay? I love Paul Thomas Anderson, but not every movie of his I can really get into. But this movie, man, I really did. And I remember sitting down and watching it, and I was seeing, like, the characters' ages, like the girl and the boy, and I'm like, oh my God, like, one's really underage, and one's overage, and I'm like, oh, man, this is not good. And I'm like, how in the hell is he going to make me care about this and really want them to be together? And man, give Paul Thomas Anderson a lot of credit, because slowly but surely he won me over. This relationship won me over. These actors won me over. And I really loved the story, and I cared about this relationship at the end of the day, about them getting together and really caring for one another and all the crazy hijinks that happened. I think it's a really great love letter to Hollywood, but it's also a really great love letter to Paul Thomas Anderson's own childhood. And I think it's a very personal film for him, and it really shows in the movie. The acting is great across the board, and he is amazing as a director. It's just a really solid movie. It's one that I deeply love, and it's one that I definitely wanted in the collection, man. So finally, I'm able to do it, man. God knows it took long enough, man, but eventually I get around to it. It just takes me a time or two. It does, man. Finally, Licorice Pizza going in the collection. Not half bad, baby. Finally. So finally picked up Licorice Pizza, man, at the unlikely place of Barnes & Noble's. Who'd have thunk it, man? But yes, finally picking that bad boy up, and very happy about that. But that is not it, because as you know, we had big new release love this week. We had Marvel MCU goodness, and we saw a really great Walmart exclusive. We saw a really fantastic Target exclusive. And as you guys know, my Best Buy is out of commission right now. They're renovating, they're doing construction, And, well, we couldn't really see the hat trick. We couldn't really see the full 3 exclusive love. However, just because you couldn't see it in the store doesn't mean you can't see it here. Oh, yes, baby. Of course, I picked up the Steely Love. The Good Doctor is going back in the collection. Oh, indeed he is, man. Ah, yes. Ah, come on. Did you have any doubt? Seriously, man, I really liked this steelbook. And I could not wait to pick this up. And now, trust me, I was really waffling between the Walmart exclusive and the Best Buy exclusive. And man, it was so close. And I was like, you know what? The steelbook is just going to edge it out a wee bit, man. I'm actually kind of shocked because actually, you know, you can still order it online. They still have it in various stores. I thought this was going to be a steelbook that was going to sell out, but apparently it's not selling as fast as I think people were hoping. But I don't think people really loved the movie as much as I did, and that's okay. If you didn't love this movie, I understand. You had probably really high expectations, and maybe it wasn't met the way you wanted it to be. Maybe you thought that they were going to continue the storyline from No Way Home and, you know, the multiverse breaking through, maybe something like that, who knows. But I really love this movie, and I really love the batshit crazy insane moments here. I love the variations on Doctor Strange and the different verses. I love Wanda here, man. I love Scarlet Witch. I think she's fantastic, and as I said earlier, I don't really consider her the bad guy exactly. I mean, yes, she's doing evil things, but she's doing it for the love of her children that she feels that she really wants to be with in any way, shape, or form. She feels like she's doing good to get to her kids, and people who do bad things never always consider themselves the bad guy. Some people do, but for the most part, when you do evil things, you're doing it for a cause that you believe in. And this is what Scarlet Witch is. And I love where they took this character. Not everyone is happy with it, I understand it, but I like what they did with her, and I like how she really was going after something she loved, but did it in the wrong way, and people were getting hurt because of it. And I really love that storyline. I really love her in this movie. And I just love how it kind of, in some ways, sort of springboards off of Doctor Strange, because Doctor Strange losing who he believes is the love of his life, and how he'll never really get her back, and how he has to accept that change, and either he can be evil and do really dark intentions, or he can accept the inevitable, and he can understand the fact that, you know, he's just got to live with the consequences of life. And I really love that, and to me that came through in spades, and I just really loved the movie, and it gave me everything that I wanted out of a Doctor Strange adventure. It really honestly did, man. So for me, look, I really dig the movie a lot, and I dig this character, and, you know, there's certain characters that I always wondered how they were going to translate on screen, right? How are they going to do this character? And Doctor Strange was one of them. And, you know, you can complain about a lot of things within the Marvel Cinematic world. You obviously can. But Doctor Strange is not one of them, or at least in my mind it isn't. And this character continues to surprise me, it continues to charm me, and it continues to really go higher up in my ranking every single time he's featured. And this movie is no exception, dude. And the Steely Love, oh, the Steely Love is definitely worth it, man. I think the Steelbook looks cool, man. I definitely dig it indeed. I love showing the ruins there. I think that's really cool, man. And even on the inside with the discs, I think this looks really great as well, dude. It looks really awesome. Yeah, look at that. Oh, that's so cool. Look at that. That's awesome, man. So cool, dude. So honestly, look, man, I had to pick up the Steelbook love. I've got to add more love to the MCU collection. I own literally all of the MCU movies now. Well, everything but upcoming Thor Love and Thunder, which, well, we'll have to get added to the collection eventually, won't it? Indeed it will, but well, we'll wait until that day comes. But for the moment, meantime, I am definitely all caught up with Cinematic Universe, and damn glad for it. More Doctor Strange Love in the Collection can never, and I mean never, be a bad thing. Oh, God, I just love this character so goddamn much. Oh, I do indeed, man. What a great movie, man. Just great fun and action and, oh, man, just great characters that I love revisiting, and can't wait to revisit them again, hopefully. You hear me, Kevin Feige? My Lord and Savior, Kevin Feige. I want more of Doctor Strange, and you better give me the good doctor eventually, or I'm coming after your ass. He listens to me. Yeah, right. Oh, jeez. Let's hope he does at least. Because I want more Doctor Strange in my life, baby. Indeed I do, man. Not bad. With the Steelbook love, pretty cool. But that's not it because, well, I happen to have a couple packages that were on my doorstep. Oh, and these ones, man, these ones are well worth waiting for. Indeed, they were. Like a little bit of Arrow video goodness. Oh, yes. New release Arrow video love at that. Now, this movie, okay, this is a gamble. All right, this is one of those obscure horror titles that I didn't really even know existed. And, you know, what I love about Arrow is that Arrow, every so often, they release these obscure titles, these little indie horror flicks that you've never heard of but you're intrigued by, and as a horror lover you kind of like lean in a bit like, ooh, what's that exactly? Now, some of them I've loved and some of them I haven't, but I'm always willing to give them a chance. And this one, I was looking up clips on YouTube, I was looking up various reviews, it looked really great, so I am going to give it a go. It was a blind buy. Sometimes blind buys don't always work out, but I have a feeling this one definitely will. I guess we'll have to see how it goes, shall we? I definitely guess we will. But I'm thinking it's going to be well worth it. Oh, indeed it will, man. And last thing is this package right here. Now, I at first didn't quite know what this package was. I was like, what is this? And then I opened it up. And I was very pleasantly surprised, man. I ended up contributing to the making of this by ended up obviously putting my money towards it. Now, this movie is a sequel. It's a sequel to a now very cult classic horror film. It's by one of my favorite modern indie directors. And I am both terrified and I am excited to check this out. I do not know what to expect with this. I don't know whether it's going to be really good or I'm going to regret ever putting my money towards this. I have no idea, but I trust in this filmmaker. And look, he hasn't steered me wrong yet. I love the stuff that he does. And so this sequel is a long time in the making, but also, man, when your movie is a cult classic like the first one is, you're gambling heavy. Will it pay off? Or will it drown? Well, I'll have to find out. But you guys, you will not get to see exactly what I got until my Blu-ray Pickles video, which I will eventually put up for the releases that I got for the month of July. My God, man, July is coming to a freaking end. What the hell? My God, man, these months are flying. And so is the physical media, man. And I have gotten some amazing, amazing stuff. I mean, new release law, boutique label goodness, nostalgia stuff, man, that I haven't revisited in a long time, and gambles that God hope pay off, man. You never quite know what I get, and this month is definitely no exception. You'll definitely have to stay tuned for all of the eventual release craziness that I have in store for you guys, and it's quite crazy indeed. Oh, man, it is. But for the meantime, I guess we'll just have to wait. But I definitely did my due diligence, guys. I mean, new release love in the mail and a little bit of in-store goodness as well. Yep, I definitely was handling my business this week. And before I let you guys go, well, speaking of Marvel, speaking of MCU, I just happen to have a story about it. Oh, indeed I do, man. From Collider, Ethan Hawke says Marvel might not be director friendly. You don't say. Let's dive in, shall we? Fresh off the success of Marvel's Moon Knight and the horror hit The Black Phone, Ethan Hawke is having quite the year. While the actor has appeared in horror film before, in fact has even worked with the Black Phone director Scott Derrickson before, it was a bit of a surprise to see him in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, given his conflicted views on superhero movies in the past. But after clarifying previously that he sees no difference between high art and low art, Hawke said in a new interview with IndieWire that his main motivation to do Moon Knight, in which he played the villainous cult leader Arthur Harrow, was to alert Marvel to his brand of acting. It happened at the encouragement of his daughter Maya Hawke, who told him that it's poor form to sit on the outside and tell everyone that their sandbox is bad. And that is very true indeed. She ain't wrong, alright? Hawke said that he's nobody to dictate what young people should and should not watch, and he just wanted to experience the world of Marvel for himself. He arrived at the conclusion that while Marvel is actor-friendly, it might not be director-friendly. In his own words, that group of people is extremely actor-friendly. They might not be director-friendly, and that could be what Scorsese and Coppola are talking about. But they love actors. I think Kevin Feige had a great thing happen with Robert Downey Jr., and he understood that Downey's passion was a large part of the success. When actors are excited by a part, audiences get excited about watching them. Feige understood the algorithm there, so they're extremely respectful towards the process. The best thing about Moon Knight for me was Oscar's performance. It's a gonzo thing that happens to have a giant budget, a pretty out there performance, and he's not wrong actually. However, Hawke made a reference to the controversial comments made by directors Martin Scorsese and Francis Ford Coppola about those superhero movies not being real movies. Scorsese, if you remember, compared them to theme park rides. In a 2019 interview with Empire, and Coppola went on a step further and at a press event in France in the same year called Marvel films despicable. Really? The actor defended both Scorsese and Coppola's comments about Marvel, or at least their right to make them, and said that he appreciates the elder statesmen of the community reminding people not to set the bar too low, because if they don't come out to tell their truth about how there are more important things than making money, who's going to? And again, he's not wrong on that either. Hawke might be onto something. It's true that while actors have largely appeared to have had a good time working with Marvel, provided you don't ask Edward Norton or Terrence Howard. Don't ask them, guys. Several filmmakers have had infamous showdowns with the studio. Patty Jenkins dropped out of directing Thor: The Dark World. Joss Whedon has spoken about the pushback he faced on Avengers: Age of Ultron. Edgar Wright quit Ant-Man weeks before filming. Ava DuVernay passed on Black Panther. And most recently, Derrickson dropped out of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. All cited creative differences. So, which is it? Are they good with the directors? Are they not good? Is it all a mess? Do you really care? Who knows, man? Everyone has different opinions out there. And everyone has to be respected in their own right. Let's be honest here. They truly do. But I'm going to be honest with you guys and say that it's sort of half and half if you really think about it. Now, let's go back to the old school days. And I mean the really old school days. Young Scorsese, young Coppola, young Lucas, and a lot of those auteurs way back in the day, right? They had carte blanche. They would go to a studio and they said, I have this project and this big time actor is going to be in it. And that's all they ever needed. They trusted in the auteur, the filmmaker. The problem with that is that at a certain point, budgets became bigger, personalities became bigger, and a lot of these films didn't make the type of money back that the studio wanted. So suddenly, studios step in because they can't trust the filmmakers anymore to make their own decisions because it hasn't always worked out to their benefit. So they have to come in and have a certain amount of creative control, which is fine. But then, how much creative control should the studio have versus the director? And I think, like, at first with Marvel, there was a bit of a balance, right? You have somebody like Jon Favreau directing Iron Man. And I think we can all agree that in a lesser director's hands, that movie would not be half as good as what it turned out to be. Favreau made it work. Yes, Downey's a big part of that, but Favreau cannot be snubbed in this whatsoever. I'm sure that he got a lot of pushback from Marvel, from the studio. I'm sure that Kevin Feige was extremely hands-on because he needed to be. This was the first MCU movie. You have to remember that. And if this did not pay off, if this failed, then nothing was ever going to happen after this. And he knew that. And so I'm sure there was a lot of back and forth and there was a lot of heartaches, but eventually it ended up coming out roses, all right? But that's not exactly entirely the truth for the rest of the MCU at times. I mean, you look at some of the early stuff. I love that Captain America movie. Joe Johnston did an amazing job with that film. And I do feel that it feels at times like almost like a Rocketeer type of movie at times. At moments it is. At other times it feels very studio-like. You look at something like Thor. Feels very Branagh with the Shakespearean stuff, but at times there's also moments where it feels very studio. You look at The Incredible Hulk. That feels very studio. So directors have to work around certain situations and certain creative dilemmas. But at the same time, Marvel has also trusted certain filmmakers as well. You look at James Gunn with Guardians of the Galaxy. Let's be real, that has James Gunn written all over it, baby. And in a lesser director's hands or a just studio say yes director, it wouldn't be half as good, man. That is James Gunn's movie through and through. You look at somebody like a Ryan Coogler directing Black Panther. That is Ryan Coogler's baby, man. It shows 110%. But then you look at something like Thor: The Dark World, and that feels very studio-ish. I mean, Alan Taylor is a decent director. He's done a lot of TV, but this didn't exactly have a auteur's sense of being within the film itself, man. But then again, you look at the Russo brothers, and the Russo brothers, what they brought to Captain America: The Winter Soldier, and what they brought to those Avengers movies. You look at the first Avengers film that Joss Whedon directed. That feels very Joss Whedon-esque. So there's times when there's directors that really can play ball, and there's other directors that can't, and they end up having difficulties and issues. It's not easy to play in the Marvel Cinematic Sandbox. It's not, okay? Because there's a certain time frame for things, and there are certain dates that things have to be released, and you just have to go and get it done, man. That's what you have to do. And if you can't play ball with that, then unfortunately we can't have you around. Look, would I have loved to have had a Edgar Wright Ant-Man movie? Fuck yeah, I would have, dude. I mean, Edgar Wright's great. I would have loved to have his signature style on that Ant-Man movie. But the Ant-Man still worked out well because Peyton Reed is able to put, yes, his own style in it, but also play within the Marvel Cinematic Sandbox and also be able to be a team player at the end of the day. That's the big thing about it, man. And I feel like, look, Marvel does it better than anybody does. Look, I like DC, don't get me wrong, and a lot of those DC live-action movies are really great. But if you look back at those DC films, the early ones, like the first Superman movie, Richard Donner directed that movie. It feels Richard Donner-like. Yes, he had to work with the studio, but he made his own thing. You look at Batman, Tim Burton, that is a Tim Burton movie, especially the sequel, man. It feels like that. And unfortunately, I think nowadays they just want directors for hire for having directors for hire, but that may be changing as well, because I look at the Suicide Squad, James Gunn directing that movie. That's a James Gunn movie. Maybe they're giving directors more leeway, but I see it more on Marvel's end than I do DC's. But I think DC is starting to head towards that direction. I think when you look at someone like Zack Snyder, you know, whether you like those movies or not, you have to recognize that that is a Zack Snyder movie. You can tell it's Zack Snyder, right? So it all depends on the studio, it depends on the director, and it depends on their relationships and how they're able to come together, if they're able to come together at all, man. It's very tricky, and it's not easy. And, you know, I look at the comments that Coppola made and Scorsese, and I get it. I understand it. Those guys, you have to understand that, yes, they have to work with a studio, but these are guys that are incredibly creative, and they don't ever want to be held down by certain rules and regulations. Rules and regulations aren't necessarily a bad thing. Some filmmakers would tell you that rules are made to be broken, and sometimes that pays off for that filmmaker. Other times, when you're able to stay within a certain box, it's not that that inhibits you, that makes you more creative, because how can you work within that box to make it your own? And you either are able to sink or you're swimming. And some do it better than others. And I think Marvel has really proven, especially in this newer phase, that I think they're able to give filmmakers more of a voice. You look at Sam Raimi, you look at him doing this movie in the Multiverse of Madness, and at moments it feels like a Sam Raimi movie. Other times it feels very studio-like, but I think it's a push and pull. You look at something like The Eternals, it feels very much like a Chloe Zhao movie. It really does, man. Her signature storytelling style is all over that. Might not be what everybody wanted, but that's what they got. I mean, you even look at something like Thor, Love and Thunder. That is very much a Taika Waititi movie, okay? Whether you like it or not, you have to at least give Marvel credit that they're able to say, hey, go for it. We'll see what happens. Yes, you have to have these certain story beats and these certain things that happen in it, but we give you leeway because we trust you. And as long as you're able to play with us, we can play with you. And so there is a little bit of that I really do appreciate, man. And sometimes it gets lost in the shuffle, but a lot of times it succeeds, like Iron Man 3. That's definitely a Shane Black movie. It feels very Shane Black. But there is times where you do realize he had to work within a certain cinematic time frame and had to work with certain personalities and had to have certain limitations. But I still think he pulled off a really phenomenal movie. And so I think there is moments when you can really see the seams breaking with certain films and certain filmmakers. And there's also moments where you're kind of like, okay, well, it didn't work out with that, but it worked out with this person. I mean, I would have been very interested to see what Ava DuVernay would have done with Black Panther, but I'm damn glad that it went to Ryan Coogler. And Ryan Coogler killed it, man. I mean, would I have loved to have seen Patty Jenkins do Thor the Dark World? Yes, but look, if she's not going to make it the way that Marvel sort of kind of wants to steer her, then why stay there? Look, if you're having issues with somebody, you can either deal with it or you move on. There's no problem with moving on. It doesn't mean that the movie's going to turn out bad. It just means that you didn't come to a consensus. It's not the end of the world. It happens every day. So, you know, on some level, I agree with Ethan Hawke. And Ethan Hawke is very much an auteur when it comes to acting and directing. And I like the idea that his daughter ended up saying, by the way, you know, you can't tell people that this is not worth it if you haven't done it yourself. I've always told you guys when watching movies that you have to give movies a chance, because you can't talk bad about a movie if you haven't seen the damn thing, right? If you've seen it and then say something bad about it, then maybe you have a certain legitimacy that you can go about saying that because you've experienced it, you can have your own opinion. But if you can't have your own opinion, then don't say anything at all. And I like that Maya Hawke ended up saying that about Ethan Hawke and actually put him in the fire and said, look, do this. Do one of these Marvel projects. You don't have to do a long-term contract or anything. Just do it. And then you then can come back and say either it's shit or it's really good. And he came back saying it was really good. He understands that as a director, you are put into these certain frames, these certain difficulties where with Marvel, it's like, okay, we got to go. Okay, Moon Knight's got to be out at this point. It's 6 episodes. We got to hit this story point and this story point and this story point here. And okay, this Avengers movie is coming out on this release date, and we have to keep this release date because we have to put out this other movie before that and this other movie after that, and we have to keep it right here. So no matter what happens, you have to stay on schedule. And so it ends up getting stressful and it ends up being frustrating. But that's filmmaking in general. Filmmaking is not perfect. It's incredibly messy. I'm surprised that as much movies get made as they do, because there's so much difficulty in writing it, producing it, acting it, directing it, you know, the production of it, the post-production, how much difficulties that go into the whole entire process, that making movies is never easy, and then trying to do a cinematic universe around that alone is fucking mind-bending. And the fact that Marvel has been able to sustain themselves for this many years says a lot about the process, but also says a lot about Kevin Feige. Because Kevin Feige is like, look, I understand that this is a business, right? At the end of the day, this is about making money. And you have to please not only the studio, but the actual artists themselves, the directors. And trying to come to a happy medium is never fucking easy. And they've actually succeeded more often than they failed. And you've got to appreciate that, man. You really honestly do. And so going forward with Marvel, going forward with the next Avengers stuff and all the Phase 5 things that are happening, you know, I trust in my Lord and Savior, Kevin Feige. You know, I really honestly do. Because the man hasn't steered me wrong. There has been moments in Phase 4 where I've questioned myself. I've been like, well, I don't know, man. I mean, is this really as good as it is? I mean, it could have been better. But I know that this is all building to something. And I know that, you know, at the end of the day, Kevin Feige hasn't let me down. He's really pulled off some extraordinary feats. And I think he can do it again. So, you know, working with a big studio, working with Disney and Kevin Feige is probably not the easiest thing in the world. It's probably extremely difficult, but there's reasons why it is. But I like what they've done with filmmakers. I don't think Marvel will ever 100% be director friendly. But at the end of the day, what I think they are is actually story friendly. And a director can either fit in that mold or not. And if they're able to, then it will pay off in spades. If they're not, hey, you call it creative differences and you move on. But the Marvel Cinematic Train is rolling, whether they like it or not. You're either on board or you get off the train. And some directors have ended up getting on the train with extraordinary results, and others, well, they just complain like a son of a bitch. Hey, have at it, man. The cinematic universe is rolling regardless, man, and they ain't stopping anytime soon. Indeed, they are not. What do you think about this? Do you think that Marvel has a director problem, that really they're not as creative as they should be, or do you think that it's all blown out of proportion? Hey, whatever your opinion is, you have the right to have it, but the cinematic universe is what it is, and hey, whether we like it or not, it ain't stopping. Not for you, not for nobody. Definitely let me know what you guys think about that, but hopefully you liked the video. If you did, definitely give it the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray and DVD out and about videos that I do every single week. Check out the movie reviews that I do with my friends, movie hunting like Dollar Tree hunts, Blu-ray pickup videos, live streams, all the great older content out there, and newer content that is coming to your eyeballs very, very soon. Keep a lookout for it all. Also, hit that notification bell so you'll be notified every single time that I put out a new video. Also, keep updated with everything I'm doing through Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. FilmFan108, keep updated with everything I'm doing, plus special pictures and videos I do from time to time on social media as well. I want to thank my wonderful fans out there. You guys are absolutely amazing and awesome. You give me so much love, and hopefully I give the love right back to you. You are a really great support for me in really difficult times, and I cannot stress that enough, dude. So thank you beyond words. And also, if you would like to send the channel any movie-related goodness, well, you can. The P.O. Box is in the description below. It is not expected, but it's definitely appreciated. And you guys have said, hey, Seth, we want to send you something really great. Where can we send it, man? We appreciate you, what you do. We want to send you some goodies. Where can we do it? P.O. Box, description below, man. And I have gotten some amazing things from you guys. Stuff that I thought I'd never see ever. Some great physical media. And I thank each and every one of you that have sent stuff to me. You don't have to, but the fact that you have went out of your way in these difficult times to send me something, that means more than I could possibly imagine, man. Thank you so much. Truly, it's amazing what you sent me. And hopefully there's some more great stuff upcoming for the P.O. Box Love. Let's hope. But I can't wait to find out, man. Can't wait indeed. But I guess that's the end of the video, man. My God, what a great, awesome experience Physical Media Love had this week. And hopefully more to come. But I will see you back next time for a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video. Take care, everybody. And remember, happy hunting.